fucking dance!
Well...
What is up, gentlemen? Gentlemen, it's just us. What's up? So, just to update you guys, I got a portable green screen / blue screen recently, so I might be tinkering with that in the future because I figured it'd be easier to just pop that up. It kind of pops up like a tent, but I gotta be careful. Like, there are YouTube tutorials on how to fold it up because people have trouble with it, so I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah. Well, are you gonna be doing stuff with like your webcam where, like, if you want to do some tutorials and then you have like the background masked out and stuff?
Well, I want to do more of my YouTube channel, but I'm not sure if I want to use. I might use this webcam if it's just me sitting here, but I also might, use other cameras I've got, or I was looking at getting like did you see Logitech has a new 4K camera, the Brio? But the reviews I've seen have said basically it's like, hey, it's an upgrade, but it's not like a DSLR, so.
Right.
It's like I've been debating.
Well, I know it probably wouldn't be good with the angle of your webcam for that because you kind of have it down at like a bird's eye view where it's looking down at the ground. So.
Well, I just have it on top of my monitor right now, so it's like I can, if I tilt it up higher, because I don't know, you usually want your camera up so that way you don't get the double chins, right? That's.
Yeah. Well, it's just you'll probably see like the base of the green screen unless you kind of have it where it like drapes on the ground too or something.
Well, it's like 5 by 7 feet. Let me just. So, like it's folded up here like a couple times, like a big tent, and like it's supposed to be 5 by 6, something, or 5 by 7. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about making some like modular square pieces of like green screen because I had this green screen like fleece material that I got from. Well, you could use it as green screen from Joann Fabrics, and I was gonna like hot glue or staple that to a foam board like squares, and I was gonna put like green on one side and blue on the other, and like find like a way of you being able to like Velcro either side to the wall if you wanted, and then like keep like you can like add more like squares to a wall or something if you wanted. Then
I've seen people get like those presentation boards from like like Staples or whatever, and then they just put green paper behind on it. So
yeah,
I mean,
and there's a lot you could do.
I mean, let's see. I mean, the thing is, I've got one of those big fleece things, but like, I'd have to, either get a thing to hang it from, which you could get like, pipe or like PVC or whatever, or just like hang it from the ceiling. But then you want to stretch it taut and light it, and it's like, I figured one of these things would be a little bit easier.
Well, the fleece material is good because it really doesn't have any reflectance or anything like that. Yeah, watch out for some of the papers. You don't want it to be like too shiny or something,
Well, it's like, this is pretty much one of the things like what I got. I mean, I got mine a little bit cheaper on eBay, as a knockoff one, but it had decent reviews, so.
That's cool. So what's up with you, Frank?
Well, just working on making those sick beats, boy.
Are you throwing down those sick beats?
Word.
Yeah.
And working a lot, and
working.
Man, every night and day.
In a coal mine.
The man every night and day. Left a good job in the city.
Working in a coal mine.
It's job and shit.
I think.
How's your back doing?
Today it's a little better. But I'm not at work right now, so They'll probably explain. Because fucking, when I'm at work, it sucks, but, you know, I'm not doing anything today. So
Right.
Anyway.
I found an app for Ian, by the way, for a smartphone app for podcasting. So.
Oh, really? What does it do?
Anchor.fm. Let's see. Make cool audio right from your phone. Broadcast your voice, music, and conversations all for free. Share anywhere or turn your audio into podcast with one tap. And I think it lets you do call-in shows and some other stuff. Record your voice, the easiest way to make a podcast ever. Interview your friends. Add real music from Apple Music and Spotify. Mobile apps, smart speakers, in your car. Yeah.
That's cool.
Just thought I'd share it with you because I know you've been looking for, you know, podcast solutions. I mean, I already showed you that Shout engine for, you know, archiving.
Shout.
But
Right.
Let it all out.
But since this one lets you do, you know, call-ins from listeners and other such things, just thought I'd mention it.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with the Hangouts is that it needs you to be you have to actually go to a computer and click broadcast. There's no you know, like Hangouts toolbox or whatever on the phone.
Right.
And they're phasing
for Hangouts on air.
Aren't they phasing out the Hangouts on air just so to make it YouTube Live or something? I don't know.
I don't know. I hope not. Then you have to set up all those encoder settings and stuff, which Frank knows is a pain in the fucking ass, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense though. Like, why have two competing products?
Right.
What they're just gonna have one product that just is like they're just gonna get rid of Hangouts altogether?
Well, it's like, well, I mean, I can imagine them just like leaving it to like compete with Messenger, you know, for Facebook or something. But it's like, I mean, well, think about it. Remember when they used to have Google Video, and then they bought YouTube and said, "Buy Google Video."
No, I don't remember that at all.
Really?
No.
Because that's what Google Video had a bunch of MST3K on it. So
Was I was gonna say, it was Google Plus still a thing?
well, they separated it so you don't have to have a Google Plus account, I think, but I don't know.
We gotta update Google Plus. I go, yeah, you go do that, Chief.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
By the way, sorry if Frank comes in choppy. He said his wife is watching Sling TV or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he said his wife's in a sling or something. I'm like, Sling TV.
No, I said Sling TV or whatever.
Not now. When
I said that before. Yes.
No.
You gotta
It's
call
not a
back
paid
to stuff
endorsement
he
for
said in the
Sling.
green room, Frank.
It's not a paid endorsement, but we highly enjoy the content on Sling because you can still watch. Like, we don't have cable anymore. So
Well, your wife's got an arm in a sling?
yeah, about to be your arm.
Oh, guys.
But no, you can watch, you know, like sci-fi and Bravo, so like all the reality TV stuff that, you know, they don't get online.
Right. I mean, it sounds cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I say enjoy it while there's still any form of net neutrality in effect. So
Right. We were talking about that off the air, like, as that shit comes, be like, oh, I gotta go look up this thing on Google, guys. I gotta go. I gotta download.
oh man, my Google subscriptions ran out. Hold on.
Right.
Right.
I'm out of internets.
I mean, even though I don't think Google are for net neutrality, but it's like you'd have to pay the Google subscription to your ISP or something, I'm sure.
Right. Well, like, a lot of people are saying, and, you know, so like, why is Netflix buffering so much? It's not Netflix, it's your ISP saying, yes, don't use their service, use our service.
Right.
Like money.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but pretty much like the gist of it is that it'll suck if you have to buy like website packages and stuff just to be able to use them, you know?
Yes, they hate you and they want your money.
I want your money.
I want money. I want your money.
Um,
Been up to?
so yeah, what have you been up to? Well, we were talking in the green room about you're trying to do some JavaScript programming or something for your site.
Well, I've got a subscription to animatron.com, which they're an HTML5 animation thing. So like, if you want to do, animations, on your site, since Flash is going away,
Right.
Flash is the devil according to most browsers anymore. So, it's like HTML5 animation. They're a lot. They've been trying to sell their latest product, Wave, which is supposed to be about like quick, easy video editing and like explainer videos and stuff for social videos and whatnot. But the studio program, which is what I have the subscription to, you can make your own animations or you can drop in pre-built stuff, kind of like Go Animate, but you can actually do. You can do a lot of, like, it actually has drawing tools in this one, and it actually has like a rigging tool, so you can have a puppet character and make a puppet animation really quickly with it.
Oh, okay.
But like the problem is, like, they had interactivity when it launched, but then they decided to redo their entire like player code or whatever. So like if you look on their forums, people are saying, well, you have it. They're designed for like banner ads, so like if you click on an object in the ad, it'll take you to a new site. But like other interactivity, like I want to do like with Strong Bad and Homestar Runner, where if you click something, it takes you to a new scene after the credits or whatever, and it's like that's still available. You could still do that kind of thing. It's just not exactly documented. Like it's supposed to have a thing where you just drag the action in the editor for it, but it's like the actions are there, but you can't drag them on and activate them. Like it's disabled for now, and it's like, well, they have stuff for people that want to develop it, so it's like I just got to figure out the coding for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, this should be simple. I can see where it is, but I don't speak JavaScript fluently enough, so I'm trying to figure that out. So, because I'd like to do something like a Homestar Runner or like a Joe cartoon. Those old school ones where you could interact with the cartoon and it'd be all weird and experimental.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta dive in there and start drinking a cup of that then.
Whoa.
Cup of that Java.
JavaScript.
Whoa.
We'll
have to go check out your Tumblr, Ben.
No, I'm gonna have a whole other site for that. But
No, we're checking out your Tumblr. That's where you gotta post it.
I'll be sure to post all my dick pics there just for you, Frank. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, what do you think about the whole HTML5, canvas element thing? The only odd thing is how, they're like, oh, the canvas, you have to code all the animation. It's like, well, Animatron treats it like a regular animating program, so like you draw a circle and you say, move this circle here, it's all in between, or you can, do things with it. Or you can make, movie clips that have their own timelines inside, so you can nest the layers of timelines, and you can import video and do different things with it. It's cool, and it makes it a lot easier than having to code stuff. It's just I'd like to add the interactivity, because if I just want to make a video, it's already doing that. It's just the interactivity's not there.
Right.
So
I remember my one friend was showing me how to use this one software that lets you like layer text and stuff just like it was in Photoshop, so it's easier and you don't have to code all that shit or like split it up into sections like how you used to have to do with Dreamweaver.
Dreamweaver.
But a lot of that stuff is pretty I don't know too much about it. Now it's just seems like it gets more and more complicated as far as the coding side goes,
Well, like, that's the nice thing about Animatron, because I looked at, like, whiteboard and explainer videos are very popular on the internet, so, like, get people that go to all these sites, like, Go Animate or VideoScribe or whatever, and they're like, oh, just drag these little things, and, they're like, have a hand draw the name of the thing and, narrate the thing. And it's like, well, with this, it actually has drawing tools, so you can make your own puppet rigs and just, like, animate them. I don't know. I mean,
Cool story, bro.
I'll share you the link, but if you actually go to the studio page, be aware that there is a auto-playing YouTube video, so...
Oh, okay.
Check out your Tumblr.
It's not my site. But I got a deal on it, though, on my subscription, because I got it through AppSumo, and usually they charge, like, for a business-level account where you can download your videos as, movie files, or you can download the HTML code or embed it as an iframe and all this different stuff. Usually, so that level is, like, so much a month, and I'm paying, like, $49 a year for it. So it's...
49 bones, huh?
Well, I mean, I can take a look at the pricing for it, because it's, let's see, pricing table, yeah, so, like right here, I got the, let's see, the business plan, premium storage, all available features, and instant support. Usually it's $60 a month, but they've also got a 50% off deal now, so it's usually $30 a month. But right now, it's, I'm paying $49 a year. And I saw another deal where you could pay $47 a year. I mean, they have a free version, but it, it comes with a watermark and it's limited storage, like movie hosting storage for the free version is 2 GB storage or 50 gigabytes a month bandwidth. Versus the one I'm on, which has, 100 gigabyte storage and 1,000 gigabyte month bandwidth, so...
I see.
Yeah. I don't know, like... It'll probably be in the far distant future if I decide to make my website, like my own website, I guess,
Did you see that? I think I mentioned previously about SoundCloud going through some hard times.
You mean how they've got, like, they had, like, 50 days left of money?
Yeah, so, like...
Oh,
said,
really?
oh, we're not... Yeah. And they're like, oh, we're not, done yet. And they're like, yeah, thank you. So, well, like, professional, podcasters that I follow, like, Kevin Smith posts on SoundCloud. Yeah, well, now what? So...
Yep. I don't know, like, it seems like a cool platform. It's just, like, yeah, like, they really try to make money as far as, like, if you wanted to put your own podcast on there, if, like, I think you get, like, a gig free or something, and with our show, that's, like, only, like, a few episodes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I know a lot of musicians use it, and lately I've heard a lot of podcasters moving to it, but I looked at it and I said, oh, that price for the service, it's like, I could find cheaper hosting. That's...
Oh, yeah.
It's cool and everything, but it's not that cool.
Right.
So...
I think other things like Spreaker or, like, Podbean or Podomatic or whatever are probably better for podcasters, Like, SoundCloud is probably better for, like, audio clips and, like, musicians and stuff like that,
Yeah, I listen to a lot of SoundCloud, so I'm actually bugging out, like, because, I don't like a lot of mainstream music, and it's free. And,
Right. Well, it's definitely good. It's better for the consumers of it than it is the content creators of it.
Kind of like Spotify in a way, or pretty much any streaming service.
And YouTube.
Because, well, yeah, YouTube. YouTube is still trying to pay for itself, but it's like it's one of the most visited sites, but it's also a huge money hole. So.
Well, it sucks that you feel bad for all the content creators of these websites and stuff. They get screwed by the website owners, and when they're the people that bring them all the people,
Well, yeah. I mean, that's again why we need, net neutrality and an open internet because, eh, it's like, imagine somebody trying to host their own, their own TV show without a YouTube. You know, just I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. As far as what I've been up to is I've just been working on more wiring. I was telling Frank last week that I'm trying to work on making it so you could use two fans from one connection for my computer. So like, I cut the end off of this one, and I got a wire. I was gonna make pretty much like one is gonna be female and the other one's male, so you could kind of like daisy chain the second one onto it. And also, I was playing around with for some more fans. I made like a two-way connection going to one, so I still have to test these out and see which one works better. I made this one just because my one fan is farther away from the motherboard, so this one it needs like a longer cable. So, yeah. I don't know if I really didn't show Ben, but I made these adapters before from going to like a DC. This is for like my LEDs and stuff. This is going from like a DC plug to like a Molex thing. So, yeah, it's just like it just uses like 12 volts. So, I just have fun learning how to tinkering around with messing with different connectors and wiring them together. Because at the end of the day, it's just metal connections going to, like different size or thickness wires. And it, like, depending on how many connections that you have, like, I was telling on the show a while ago about I was trying to make a system of these, of like wiring and ends that use PS2 connectors, like the old keyboard and mouse connectors, because they have 6 pins or like, so you could do like a ground and 5 channels. So you could use those, and then you could make like your own custom like adapter end. So you could have it go from, you could use like, you could pretty much use it as like a universal cable to go from like, for like LEDs and like, or audio channels. It's just utilizing the amount of wires and like pins that are on the thing. So yeah, like if you could use that for like 5 channels of audio if you wanted, so you don't have to have 2 cables. It just like minimizes the amount of cables that you need. They make similar connectors that has like 8 channels, but I figured 6 channels is pretty, or 5 channels plus a ground is pretty good.
Sounds
Yeah, because
Good.
Well, I was just gonna ask Ben what do you think about that? Because I know like a lot of times you have to use like, I'm sure you've had to use different like connectors and adapters and stuff, but if you have like a universal type of thing where you could use it for different kinds of like wires and stuff, that would be cool.
So you're talking about like just like to connect them to draw the same power, or are you talking about like controlling connecting? Like,
Well, it's just like being able to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make like custom length wires that has pretty much 6 wires going through it, where each end has like a female PS2 connection, and then I was going to make like custom adapters on either side. So like you could either decide if you want this cable to be wires for like lighting or like audio, or like if your lighting only uses like if it's say if it's RGB and only uses 3 channels, you could I could make a custom and that some of the pins go to like lighting, and then if you just need a stereo connector, also you could use it for an audio. So you could pretty much use it as like a custom cord for deciding what you want to do with each channel. You know, it's just like kind of like a custom kind of like system that I'm trying to make of wiring. You know.
Like, so basically you're getting like custom mains wiring that can adapt to anything you throw on it.
Yeah, just like an analog mains kind of cord, because like it's just a pain in the butt for me. A lot of times I have to buy like different length audio cables if I need it to be specific. Like if I wanted to have it nice and neatly cable managed with my desk, like if you need a shorter cable, or if you need it longer, you know, like you don't have to worry about like if it's too long, then you have to, you know, like wind it up and make it like. You have to use like cable ties or something, so it's like not too long or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's
cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah, you did. It just simplifies the amount of cables that I have to have in in my desk. You know.
Well, I mean, it sounds like, you know, one of those hackers, you know, workshop customization builds that, you know, you do you, man.
Yeah.
That sounds involved, so. Have fun.
Yeah. Either at the end of the day, like that's all a lot of cables are. It's just varies depending on how many wires that you need to go through the thing, you know. At least that's for like most analog things. Yeah. But did you want to get into some battle stations, Frank?
Yes, sir. That'd be cool.
Okay. Well, for mine, I got it from the work battle stations, or the workstations subreddit there.
Oh. Let me get to that there. Wait,
I pasted all the news and the stations in the chat, so it's up to you if you want to look in the chat or if you want to look in your email.
I already opened them, so I just got it.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. First up, the Doom Station. Man, so much black and red.
Yep.
It's like a Radeon graphics card threw up in here.
No, what? It's not a Vega though, because if it was Vega, it'd be blue and gold.
That's why I said Radeon.
Yeah.
But oh, he's got two. Hey, he's got a fucking Bit Phoenix Prodigy Red. PC. Does that mean he has it's his second PC and that's his that's the one he games on. So that one, all that thing does is process the signal from the one with the SLI. No strain off of it because he doesn't have beefy enough beard. Not just kidding.
Right.
So i7 overclocked to 4.5. He's only got 250 gigabytes of, I guess that's for his OS, and then, well, no, he's got two. He's got that. He's got 500 gig, and then he's got a 1 terabyte. I'm assuming that's for games, but still not a lot of storage, man. Gotta get the games, man.
Yeah, I was thinking about, what do you think about those people that get an SSD and then get those USB adapters for the SSD drives?
A USB adapter?
Yeah, like the USB to SATA or whatever adapters. So you could use it like an external hard drive then.
Oh, what? So their SSD's on the go then?
Yeah, I mean that it kind of makes sense because you know, since they're just solid state drives, you don't have to worry
Right on
about
your
banging
pocket.
them around. They're pretty rugged, you know.
Well, my M.2, I put it in an adapter because it was a SATA drive already, but the
Right.
M.2 port or whatever the hell you want to call it on my motherboard, the slot, that was actually for PCIe M.2, which I didn't realize because my old board supported it. This one, it didn't. So I had to go get an adapter, which basically turned it into just a regular SSD drive. It looks just like a minute. Because, you know,
You said slot.
that's right. Your mother's a slot. Now I'm looking at stuff, and he's got some cool stuff. He's got the portal gun, and he's got the cube, a bunch of pop vinyls, like Futurama and all that there.
Yeah.
Up there, an Apple TV it would look like according to the remote. And then he's got the fucking CS:GO knives.
What do you think about those? I believe they call those karambit knives or whatever.
I don't
The
know.
one where you put your pinky, you put your like hand around the handle, but then your pinky goes through the,
Yeah,
you know, like the ring.
This sounds like a good way to break your pinky off.
Yeah.
Because, well, if you got a knife in your hand, they're going for your hand. They're not going to try to grab the blade. They're going to try to grab the fucking your hand. And
Right.
if that just pinky out, that makes it the weakest point in your hand, wouldn't it? I mean, that's just my thoughts. And it's got espresso because, you know, you want to be all jacked up when you're playing with knives. Oh, he's got a glorious PC gaming Master Race pillow with his portal gun. I like the portal gun. I gotta give him that. It's unique.
Yeah, Nate has one of those
Oh, really?
portal guns. Yeah, he's all into, you know, like the toy guns and the toy cosplay stuff. You know.
I had a lightsaber. I don't remember if I still have it or not. So this one I like. What we got here for the second battle station you sent me?
Yeah, these
Subscribe it now. Okay.
other ones. Yeah, these ones were more of like
Wow.
professional, like workstation ones. Are like programmers, designers, and stuff.
That dude, he's got the split keyboard for ergonomics.
Yep.
He's got the nasty coconut water.
Yeah, I haven't seen a keyboard like that. That's like interesting. It's
Well,
physically split.
yeah. Well, I mean the ergonomic ones usually will have a big hump in the middle of them, like the other ones. Or you can buy them where they're literally two separate pieces, so that your hands don't even have to perform, you know, the home row position.
Right.
Excuse me. The interesting mount. I'm guessing that's just for his speakers, because it looks like his laptop's on the one mount. I can't tell if the monitor the other. But he's got a nice ergonomic mesh chair there.
That's all about ergonomics.
Ergonomics and looks like functionality because like his mat is, you know, made for cutting stuff up on. And that's just a power plug on the desk there under his monitor? I can't tell.
I don't know. Scroll back up.
Hold on, someone asked for a picture of how the speakers are done. Oh, he did a little rendering of it.
Huh.
So, wow, that's okay. That's pretty involved there for a
So
laptop.
the speakers and everything
Yeah.
are rigged up on that stand. Then what's the stand going over top of it for?
On probably for extra reinforcement. Let me back up. You mean the stand on the right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I don't know.
Is that for lights or something, or?
Let's see. Reading through the comments here, or can I keyboard, mouse pad? Don't know. It doesn't say. He might be. He might have something else held up because the according to his illustration here, the something different holds all that.
Yeah, like how did he design that on his laptop or something? Because obviously then you'd have to can't work on a monitor that you're trying to model the back of, you know.
This is interesting. It's different.
Yeah.
Is that why you like it? Because it's different.
Well, I haven't done any battle stations from this subreddit yet, so and it looked cool, I guess. So.
Yeah. Now this guy.
But I think that might be like a USB hub or something, maybe.
Yeah, I see. I thought I saw like 3 plugs for the ground for electrical. So
Yeah.
Couldn't really tell. The now this third station you sent me.
This one's interesting as well.
It's a corner desk. He's got lamp pointed right at the monitor to. I don't know what the hell purpose that does other than blind you.
Yeah.
I think it's more for aesthetics because this guy seems very utilitarian. Does it fucking work? Then fuck it. This guy, yes, I work here, but like, I get it. You're an Apple fanboy, so you got the laptop. Okay, that's whatever. But like the mouse, the keyboard, he's got a mechanical keyboard. Excuse me, so much. He's got a mechanical keyboard behind it. I guess to make up for it. I also don't know about how that zoom in here. How this I don't like how that monitor is just hanging out, buddy. Because half of the stand part of the monitor is going to just
dinosaurs.
Now he's got a little dinosaur and some other little things on the desk. They're kind of cool.
So wait a minute, what was your complaint where it's just like it's standing on the thing or whatever?
Yeah, how the monitors on the monitor riser, it's like hanging off. Let me close go to the other view here. Yeah, see here it is head on.
Yeah.
I guess it's like only got a couple inches, but
if you want to nitpick, I guess you could, right?
That's all.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, to dress it up, he could get a mount. I guess I don't know where he would put it because his desk right up against the wall. Well, it's not because he's got cables going behind it, so I don't know. But
well, maybe those are already at a pretty good angle. I was gonna say maybe if you angle them, you could
right, they're not
make the space even less. Then
Yeah, if they were straight on, then they'd be falling off the fucking thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you pick it because he's got Audio-Technica headphones? Is that why you picked it, Ian? That's why you picked it.
No, well, I just was looking for them on the first page. I was kind of in a hurry, but at first glance it looked cool. So,
gotcha.
But I did notice it. Yeah. It does look like the same kind of headphones that I got. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always for an extended mouse pad, so that's always cool. And I like the work lamp like that. I've got one fairly similar from IKEA that shines on stuff. So it looks like in the picture he's got it literally like lighting up the monitor.
Well, I guess maybe it's like it's good to have some ambient kind of light or something, so you're not. Maybe it's better for your eyes so you're not in total darkness or something with the monitors.
I mean, that's a big argument for I agree with that because that's why I got the LEDs that work like it's just to put it right on the monitor, which is where you're looking. It almost, like I said, looked like it was lit onto the monitors, but no, that's just the images as wallpaper. It's got the sun coming up right under where the lamp is.
Yeah, what I would have done is put it like behind the monitor and have it like streaming up the wall, you know. I mean, don't you think that that would be better if it was just like an accent behind the monitors then?
Yeah, just yeah, or he's not going to pull it down and shine it on anything. Like he's not working on something that he needs a light. He's not carving up a model or he's putting together assembling something. I like his.
Well, no, because he doesn't have it. It's not like if it was on the side where there was actual space. Like if he was like needing to draw or write on part of his desk, it would make sense for you to have the lamp on that part. But that's only specifically for his monitors.
I don't understand like why he has the two sets of keyboards here. I mean,
yeah, I was gonna ask you. Is that for? Are those like wireless for his laptop or something then? Because is that an Apple laptop?
It is a MacBook. The thing though is, why the fuck would you put them there if you're sitting at the Windows machine?
Yeah.
And you can, there's software you can use that will cross both devices with one keyboard and mouse, because he's also got a second mouse in there tucked away if you can't see it.
Right.
And thirdly, that mouse and keyboard are just so uncomfortable. I have an original Apple keyboard downstairs on my iMac, and I hit into the machine so I can use my nice RGB quickfire keyboard, because it just feels like you're typing on a screen. It's almost like there's no movement. You can't tell if you hit anything. You gotta stare at it.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Ben? This one?
Interesting place for a light in the middle between the two screens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's more for looks than it is for function, really.
But you know, if you got a corner cubicle office, you know, you do what you can. I mean,
yeah,
not bad.
Well, as far as my favorite, I'd have to say it's pretty close for me between the first and the second one, but I think I'll go for the second one.
What do you think of the setups, Ben? Is there one particular that you wouldn't lean towards, or?
Well, I mean, what's the first one? Let's take another look at that. It's been so much time between them all.
Right.
So he's got 3 monitors.
Yep, he's got a bladeless fan. He's got LED lights. He's got red accents all over the fucking place. He's got a Herman Miller Aeon chair, Ben. That might do it.
Well, what's the computer specs on the different rigs? That one he's got a.
This one he's got an i7 with a 970. He's got 2 970s though. Couldn't he just get a better card?
Right.
Not to be anything, but I mean.
Well, you're not gonna be able to get a better card now because of that. The
miners.
Yeah, what is it called? The Ethereum mining.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that, Ben? Did you listen to our show last week?
I saw it was like 4 hours, and I said that's a rat.
Well, yeah, we had Doug on and stuff, so
we were waiting for him to fall out of his chair again.
Yeah.
I've given up on putting the 4th wheel back on this chair. It just falls off, and there's nothing I can do to keep it on. So.
Right.
Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, for as much as he spent on triple monitors, I mean that might he can run triple monitors with like a 1080 or something.
Yeah.
And what's the computer on the second one? I saw he had a laptop, but what was his
Well, that's it on the second one. Laptop with a monitor stuff. Yep, laptop.
Okay.
And then the third one, he's got a MacBook, and he's also got some kind of Windows device. Let me see what it says here.
Wait a minute. So all the monitors are just running off the laptop on the second one?
There's only one monitor. Those are speakers.
So the monitor is just from the laptop?
Yeah, there's a laptop, then it's plugged into the monitor, and then there's speakers coming out of it. I mean, go
Oh,
back to the
I didn't. You see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, as you can see in the picture here, there's a laptop, and then it looks. I mean, that to my knowledge, that appears to be the only device in there. He doesn't have any screens on, so I can't say what confirm. I can either confirm or deny.
Well, that, like I said, that was from the workstations, so they don't have the same roles as the battle stations, I guess.
Someone says if you consider cross-posting to battle stations, he'll probably get shut out because he doesn't have a tower.
Okay, well then I guess I would have to change mine. Then my favorite one to be the first one.
Oh,
because you got to have a computer.
He's got two. He's got one to just stream. He also. Let's everyone having laptops here. He's got a laptop. You got a laptop.
Now what's now that third guy? What's his rig?
Third guy, he has a MacBook there on the left, and then I don't see any indication of what kind of a computer. Assuming it's this box down here at the bottom, because unlike battle stations, they require you to show up close and personal of your thing, not just a little corner. But looks to me to be a Windows screen, because there's Edge right there and recycle bin, all that. So I'm assuming this thing's run off of Windows somehow with two monitors. So he got Windows and a MacBook. This guy's got a MacBook, and this guy has a MacBook and two Windows PCs.
Well, I mean, for pure computing power, the first guy seems to have the most setup.
True.
And I like how the guy on the third one's put it together. The guy on the second one, well, good industrial design for the thing supporting it all together.
You see, if he had a nice tower, I would have said that one would have been the winner. But it's just a laptop that he's got hanging on the wall there.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, he's got that laptop and it's all rigged up to that thing. So it's like at least the third guy can move his stuff around. His laptop.
Yeah.
That one, it's like part of the thing, so it compromises it.
I'm assuming the desk might be like a movable desk, like it might be on wheels. That might be what that arm is on the right there. I don't know what the thing is over the top. I don't know what that's about. I've never understood. There's battle stations recently where people are like, I have multiple monitors, but it's still mobile. I'm like, why? Why do you need to move your fucking desk? What's the point?
To be cool about it,
I guess. So,
well, what's yours then? Ben, you would say the first one also?
Well,
the triple monitor one?
I mean, I'm not crazy about all the red personally, but it's like, he's got the beefiest computer build and hardware.
You got the best gear.
And it's like, I like the look of the third one, and then the second one is just all, an extended docking for the laptop. Because I used to have a thing where, for my old laptop, where you could just plug it in and it added USB ports and you could, treat it like a desktop similarly, but it's like, I mean, it's nicely designed and everything, but
so you like the actual workspace of the third one the best, but you like the hard.
I appreciate the way he rigged it up to hang and everything, but it's like, I don't know. I don't see the point in having a laptop up on a stand. At that point, why not just get an iMac?
Yeah, I mean,
or even a Mac Mini, really. I mean, because if you're just gonna hook it up to a big monitor, I don't know.
I don't know why he has to have it up on a stand like that. If he has a keyboard to it and a bigger monitor, he took that thing away in a corner somewhere, and you wouldn't have to look at that little display. I mean, unless he likes the Retina display.
Well, who wouldn't like a Retina display? But it's like the other guy, he's got two monitors, and they're running another thing, and I'm sure he could VC into his laptop, and it doesn't need to be on a stand, or VNC into it, so.
Right. So you would say that this one is your favorite, or this one?
I'd say the first one just because he can do more with it, but I like the layout of the third one too. So
Gotcha.
so
Well,
it's
And
clean. I like it.
you're the same.
yeah.
Uh,
What about you, Frank?
well,
It's where you get water.
I mean, the first one has more power, more monitors. That's always a plus with me. Um, I like the look and the aesthetic going on with this one. And this one, even though he technically probably has more computing power, I would still go with a laptop over it, just because it irks me so much. The way all the extra bullshit, like I don't need 2 keyboards and 2 mice. I don't.
Right.
Well, Frank, he's got he's got 2 monitors and 2 mice and everything. All he needs, he could hook one of those up to be an external for that laptop and still run that Windows machine. That one laptop guy, that's all he's got.
Yeah, but the laptop guy made his space better though. So
All right, if that's how you see it. I mean,
Well,
Hmm?
well, so you're choosing the second one. You don't like the triple monitor one?
Oh no, I like the triple monitor best because it's got more screens and you can game the hell out of it, stream the hell out of it. So of course I like it better. But then this would be second, and then this would be third.
Okay.
I could work it there, but if I had to pick a place I'd rather work, I'd rather be, even if it's only one laptop, and I would game the shit out of this Doom station. So,
Well, so what's the guy's shout out? Then we can move out to yours. What's the guy's name? You can give him a shout out.
well, the Raffle Mustard.
Waffle mustard.
Yeah, no. ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing.
Uh,
Monster, and the O is like 0. It looks like.
oh, okay.
Now, I brought up some that I don't even like. There are a few that I don't want for consideration. I just wanted to bring up points with them. So,
honorable mentions.
yeah,
Yeah.
like this thing. I thought this was just kind of cool. That's a Raspberry Pi. Hooked up
Inside
to,
one of those.
it's in a case
Oh.
on the left.
Okay,
And then-
so it's hooked up to one of those combination VCR
Yeah,
TVs.
yeah, and then I like this one because of the desk, like the monitor layout, because screens. But you notice there's one problem with this sucker.
What's that?
Well, let me go back to the first picture. What's wrong with this setup, Ian?
Well, the only thing that I could see so far with my OCD is, well, two things: that they're not really aligned at the base and with the background. The backgrounds don't line up with the what is that, like a galaxy or something going across it?
Yeah,
So, like, those are the two aesthetic things that I don't like about it. I'm
I
not
don't like-
sure.
I don't like how small the desk is.
Uh,
Because you're getting into my old territory. Because I had 2 monitors, and if I wanted to put anything else on my desk, somebody had to get up and leave. Like, what's to keep that guy from mousing into his fucking monitor there, or knocking his keyboard over? Unless he's got high DPI, I guess. Well, you wouldn't even have room for a beverage. You put a beverage in, now you can't see your screen.
yeah.
And then his stand, it's a triple monitor stand, but if you notice, it's actually a base. It has feet. It's not clamped to the thing, so it's pretty big. It's taking up space too. So that's my only nitpick on this guy. So I mean, otherwise, man, that's awesome. Ooh, that desk sucks. Because I mean, it's got a great finish on it. It's old. It's like a walnut, but it's too. Yeah. And then,
What do you think about what I said, though, like the monitor's not lining up?
I think that's just the perspective. Because I think if you sit down, the line will be kind of straight in the middle. It's just he's sitting up above it at this shot. What do you
Well, no,
think?
like you can see the corner on it is like a little bit lower than the line of the central monitor. You know.
Ben, what do you think?
About the guy's furniture setup?
Yeah, his screens without knowing anything at all about the guts of the computer.
I mean, is this like computer fashion show month? I mean, like you do what you can, man. It's like,
Well,
oh,
yeah, but he
didn't have access to he didn't have access to one of those free floating base arms, whatever, man. I mean,
he's got a 34-inch Predator in the middle, which costs money, and he's got the two 24s from Asus.
yeah. Now, if you buy all the hardware, but then an extra arm for it costs how much?
And then this guy's got a similar thing going on here, which is one of the reasons I selected this guy here, because I like to look at it. Like, let me go to the bigger picture. Here we go. Booyah! Like, matches his keyboard. And by the way, it's not a split keyboard. He's got his vape box there. We get it. He vapes. Here's a lit picture. Yeah, this picture is lit.
Hey, it's Mr. Meeksies.
Mr. Who?
From Rick and Morty.
Oh, no wonder I didn't know that. I haven't watched that in a while.
Man,
But yeah,
that's TV is like really high up, man. You really gotta like arch your neck to watch what's going on there, you know.
Well,
I like
maybe
his-
he doesn't watch while he codes. Maybe he takes a break and lays back on his couch.
he's got
I guess.
speakers, which are pretty cool. But then the thing that the title of the whole article is look above the monitor here. Look at that bad boy.
That's like one of those wall computers or whatever.
Yeah, it's a wall case. But the that first picture, it looks like it's got a gangster lean. It looks like it'll fall on you at any minute. And plus,
I thought that was a TV up there. I didn't know that was the computer.
yeah, that's his computer. Now,
Yeah, if that was a TV, that'd be like really high up.
yeah, no, with the with the tower up there like that, the wall-mounted ones, I think they kind of make you to put your wires through the wall, because cable management looks like a bitch.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not for the faint of heart. It looks like that motherfucker will fall on you any second. Ben, what do you think of this guy's?
I mean, what all is that wall-mounted one for there? Is that what he's using it for? Is that the main rig, or is that?
Yeah, that's the computer.
Well, he's definitely taking up less space than the guy with
Less
the
space.
base.
But then he's got he's got his LEDs shining on his cables. It highlights.
Yeah. At first, I thought that was either a monitor or I thought that might have been like some speakers up there, with the like subwoofer
Right. I was the first
with the fans.
I was the first comment. I was like, okay, love the monitor orientation, but that wall mounting looks like it's gonna fall over. So, yeah, I mean, he's like, it's he was extremely nervous, but it should be okay. And he runs a juice company, so of course he vapes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, it's only got like a couple more weeks, and then I'll be able to get that Ryzen, man.
Woohoo!
I'm anxious to get it because I'm worried about with all this these GPUs, and I think the what is it? The power supplies are like really expensive now too. I've noticed. I'm worried about everybody buying up the Ryzen shit, so I want to buy it when I can.
Well, Ryzen 3 is coming out, and I got an article about that, so maybe that'll take some of the pressure off you.
Oh, really? Like, is it
Quad
the Ryzen 3 is like the really low, like an i3 or something?
it's quad core, so it's cheaper. And some
Yeah.
guys, you know, gamers, they go, well, all I need is enough to run the 8 gig of RAM. So I don't know.
What is? Do you get to specify, or is it only like GPU that like the mining utilizes?
I have no fucking idea. I don't do any of that shit. Also, I got this guy. Says he's a broke college student.
Broke ass college student.
Yeah, broke college student mouse station, but he's got a MX Master mouse. He's got are those audio engine? Those aren't audio engine speakers. I can't remember who they're from. I'll have to cheat and read it. Damn it. Not too fancy a tower there, but it's got a bucket seat. I like the look of this one because of all the wood. But
Yeah, you like that wood, don't you, Frank?
I'll give you some wood. But yeah, I didn't think it looks that cheap. I understand it probably didn't cost it that much. Does he have any specs? Uncle made him the chair.
Was this from average battle station or just battle stations?
No, this was on Battle Station.
Well,
It wasn't average.
the thing that I don't like about the battle stations is that, you could find computers that would also go in average stations there. Like, I think they should have an ultra battle station, because that's probably where I would choose most of my things from.
You picked the guy with the 8
Yeah.
fan, one that I showed you. They're the Personas the Ares speakers. That's what those are. I knew what they were.
Yeah, because you have broke college students, but then you have these other people that we reviewed that are in the same subreddit that has crazy shit.
Right. He doesn't have any specs on his gear, so that's why I didn't want this up for consideration. I just thought it looked nice. I was like, yeah, it's a broke kid. And then I just include this to show you what you can do if you're he's got the 98-inch fucking desk. Got a Blue Yeti, like somebody I know, Ben. Ben, you know somebody with a Blue Yeti?
I can neither confirm nor deny that I know anybody that has a Blue Yeti microphone. I can neither confirm nor deny.
A lot of people are still using the snowball.
Yeah, I saw one of those in the store recently. They're big, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought they'd be a lot smaller, considering people are like, oh, the Yeti, it's the monster. It's like, well, the Snowball's pretty big.
Well, if you wanted to have Frank on the show when he comes in, aren't those good for that? If you're having multiple people, because you just have it sitting on your desk.
Well, mine's not sitting on my desk. Mine's on an arm.
What
So,
I'm talking about the snowball.
I mean, well, technically the Yeti was supposed to sit on a desk, but
No, people put them on arms too.
yeah.
A snowball on an arm, though? That's gotta look weird.
Yes,
Well,
it does.
that's one of the things when I was buying this. They're like, oh, you can get the Yeti on an arm. Oh, you can also get the Snowball on an arm. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
It comes with its own little stand, and I don't know.
Well, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna have Frank's, you two huddle together real close with your mic or something? If he
No, I
He
just
does
gave him
those-
a headset last time.
Oh, okay.
As I don't know. I mean, you can also set it to, omnidirectional, so it gets more, or you can have, I could put it between us and have it on the split for two, for two people interview, setting. So, but yeah, pick up patterns.
Yeah, this guy got the big ass 98-incher. He's got an ultra wide with another monitor on top, and it's kind of funny. And then he's got a Logitech keyboard. I like those extended mouse pads. Oh, it's 27-inch on top. Okay. Oh, that's what I got at the moment. Mine except upside down. I got the little one on the bottom. I guess he's got a footrest. and the sub, and it hides his power. And then I was looking at his computer. It doesn't. It's like, where's the guts? Got a. He's got a. What the hell? What graphics card is that? Does he even say 1080? Okay. Didn't even look like a 1080. So I saw the little light up there, I guess.
Okay.
He's got the stock Intel cooler. I don't know where to put his. It says he's got a 1 terabyte SSD. It must go behind the motherboard too, because spots on those to be for SSDs, I thought. And he's got the Mica speakers, which are. But he's got a G-Sync monitor, which that's got to be nice. 34-inch with G-Sync. Boy, that probably cost him an arm and a leg.
What, the ultra wide?
Well, yeah, he's got your headphones again. Ian, look, there they are.
Well, they're popular too. I mean, just like the Sennheisers and stuff.
Yeah, I want to get some Sennheisers.
Yeah.
And he likes Packers. Looks like no wait, not Packers. Who is that? Hawks. Oh, Hawkeyes. Okay. I don't follow sports, so sorry. And
Okay.
Yeah, the Audio Technica, they tend to do more of like, just like recording stuff more than like they really don't do. I don't even know if Audio Technica has some like really good speakers or anything,
they do. I know they have like record players and stuff. I want to show you
Yeah.
this one because I like the case. Got a tempered glass case. Got a cheap, shitty RGB keyboard. By the way, I've seen that before.
Oh, is that like was that like some white keycaps that's supposed to let the RGB through or something?
Yeah, well, it's an aluminum. The base is aluminum, and the keycaps are white, and it's cheap. It's like I've seen it on Amazon for like $30 before, and then
Oh, dirty.
Yeah, the reviews. I want to say if I didn't read and see which one it was. All the reviews are like, the plastic is coming off, for just minimal, but I like the plant. I like the lighting. I was just the angle he took the picture at. I was like, why is your keyboard and monitor to the left of your chair? So I thought that was weird, but
The only thing that's kind of like that stands out that I don't think it really needs to stand out is the basement on the computer, the basement shroud with the red.
yeah. Oh, I mean, you can't see with the tinted glass. You can't see. Like I think the GPU's got a little red in it, and after that, I can't see shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to just show this because screens.
Well, I'm just getting confused because you're showing all these things that you just want to mention. What are our official ones?
I'll go through that in a minute.
Oh, so we're not even into any official ones yet.
Oh, I know I already did. I'll down to my 3. I just wanted to show you this because, goddamn. Okay, so that's just honorable mention. Believe. Oh, that's the same one.
What was on the screen of that one where it looked like blocks of? Yeah, that one.
Whoop. Well, load this up a little bigger for you. Got a lot of shit going on here. He's got a soccer game, it looks like, or tennis. I can't tell. The problem with Chrome browsers is when you take a photo of them, it washes everything out. You can't see a damn thing.
Yeah.
He's got the 2 portrait monitors. One's got a command. Here, I don't know what the other ones are. I can't see what he's doing. Bluetooth and other devices. He's got. It's really busy. Got his little GoPro right there. I just. Oh, man, did I close it? Okay. Anyway, that was just a honorable mention. The serious ones that I wanted to vote between are I'll touch on the with the tower falling the hell over, the big 98-inch desk one with G-Sync, and the tempered glass one.
Okay, go through that again. Sorry.
No,
What's the first one?
So those first one is the one with the leaning tower.
Leaner. Or what's that drink we were talking about? Lean or whatever?
Yeah, some lean.
Yeah.
And then the second one is the guy with the 98-inch desk. I mean, he could put more on there if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Days. And number 3 is
that one, yeah.
the guy with the cheap keyboard, but got an Acer monitor. And can I zoom in? There we go. Woo, okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's an MSI GPU, and
yeah. Well, he's out of all of them. I would say he's got the nicest tower, probably.
well, without any specs, I can't say. I cannot say exactly. Does he say? Reading real quick. Headphone amp. No, he doesn't give a whole lot of specs there. Someone just asked. Case. Yeah, he's got the links for the case. That's all he did.
The only thing that I have to really, well, I nitpicked about the basement thing because I think that a basement shroud should usually be black, just because you don't want to look at the basement. Your eyes want to be looking away from it, so it should be more hidden away, you know.
Right.
And the only other thing that I would nitpick is the actual room itself. Like, I've never been a fan of those rooms where it has to be like a slanted part of the ceiling or something, you know. Oh no, that was just the lighting. I thought that was like it was like slanted or something, you know, like if it was like part of an attic or something, you know.
Oh no. Now, the guy with the only thing I nitpicked now that I zoomed in and noticed, I was like, well, it's an Acer monitor. It can't be that bad, right?
Right.
No, it's VGA.
You mean the blue connection? It's not even DVI?
Yeah, it's he's got a converter there to...
Oh, yeah, they have a special converter go from the... Because there's no way that the card he has VGA on it.
No, that's got to have... that. I mean, I'm not hating on him because I've got a VGA monitor hooked up as well.
Yeah.
But that's not my only display. Your card doesn't output it. You can run an adapter.
Well, the DVI is still quite popular, I will say, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people still want them to keep it on the cards, right?
Yeah, because it's you can get the monitor for cheap. So.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I didn't know that. That's a good thing to point out, I guess. But.
I mean.
Yeah.
Just I mean, it still looks nice. Wrong. I would sit there, if it weren't for the other 2 stations I really voted for, this one and this one, that would be the one I'd want to sit at.
Well, I gotta choose the leaner.
Benjamin, do you have any comments on any of the steps? You want me to go through them again?
Okay. So how many are we looking at?
3.
We're just 3. We
Yeah.
try to do it 3 each usually.
That's what I figured, but Frank was showing so much stuff.
Yeah, I kept going. I gotta show these guys this shit.
So what? Just real quickly, which ones are we looking at? Give me a quick rundown of the 3.
The one with the Mr. What's his name from Rick and Morty?
Yeah, that's the one with the leaning computer on the wall.
Looks like a coffee table.
With the posts to keep the glass out. And then the second one, IKEA desk that's 98 inches. This is the size my desk is 98 inches, and I'm actually kind of glad I didn't because it would have been too big. But kind of wish I had the room for it because it's badass. Because
Okay, okay. I don't even know that, Frank. Go for and number 3.
and number 3 was the guy tinted glass. His case is similar to the one hanging here, but not exactly. It's because they're both the side panel is glass. You're able to see, but this one's a different model slightly. So,
Yeah.
but he's got he's got a headphone hanger there. And
The only thing too is with VGA, doesn't VGA like not support like it only supports like a 4:3 like resolutions or whatever?
oh no, you could do 1080.
Well,
Well, I know the resolution goes above 1080. I'm talking about like the aspect ratio, because that's what the problem that I found out with using it is like at least with outputting it on one of my XP machines, it would always have to like squish it then or something, you know.
My no, my 27-inch monitor and one VGA hookup, so it does 1080. But yes, Ben, these are the heavy 3. We got the leaner, we got the big ass, and then we got the. So what do you think?
well, I mean, if that guy has like all that desk space, why's he got the monitors stacked rather than side by side?
That's a good question. Well, I guess he was probably doing it for symmetry, because then you have one small one next to the real giant one, you know.
Right, he didn't want to pop for 234 inches,
Yeah.
and plus he wanted some desk space because you don't think it goes away quick, but really it actually does because like
Well,
I
I mean,
said,
that's why that guy that wall mounted, as long as that thing doesn't fall, then I say it's probably one of the better deals because it gives him more space and he's got more monitors set up to use it. Because that third guy, he looks like he's got a cramped desk space, and
Yeah.
you said he's got a VGA, so I mean, unless of course my main argument, it's computer horsepower and then ergonomically in space, like who has the beefiest processor there, and because like if these guys are all running off of laptops, then I think we know what's going to happen again.
right?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I don't.
the wall mounted one, I think it's probably the beefiest. It looks like, at least.
Well, this one's got a 1080
Yeah.
with an i5, so it.
Oh, an i5.
I don't know what. Let's see. Thermaltake. Yeah, it's hard to read anything off of the wall-mounted one.
Is that liquid cooling though? With is that a radiator with the 3 fans on it?
I believe so.
That's so you could have had that overclock pretty good too.
Yeah. Does it say?
So I basically go like 1, 2, and 3 from what I can see.
So you would go with the guy with the lean, then you go with the big ass desk, and then you would go with the other guy. Is that the order Ian would go also?
Yeah, but if the guy had the top, aesthetically this tower would probably be better, and like some of his other stuff, like if you took the tower and well, I guess that'd be it, just the tower, and put it with replace the leaner,
Yeah, like I mean, I really like this one because the monitors are great, the color scheme is great. I wouldn't want that things shit out of me.
Right.
That's the main reason I like the big ass desk one better. I mean, you can't go wrong with the big ass wood desk. I'm sorry. I love the
Well,
wood.
it looks like it's a nice start, but I think I can see him, once he gets another big monitor, he'll probably spread it out, or he'll probably put some other stuff around. It's nice to have room, but you don't start there unless that's all you got.
There's room to grow, is what I'm saying here.
It looks like good starting space.
So I would say this is my number 1. This is my number 2. And this is number 3. I mean, I would be happy to hang out and do stuff here. It probably wouldn't be the best for gaming. He might not. I mean, he's got a be audio thing, so he might do other stuff. I can't tell. He didn't talk a whole lot in this. He's like, "Here's my stuff," and then everyone's like, well, "What's
Right.
this? What's this?" So
Well,
you guys,
So you're saying the second one first, and then which one was your leaner? Is that the second one?
yeah, that would be my second one because even though it looks like the tower would fall on you,
Yeah.
you still would get more out of it sitting in your lap with the fan spinning than you would on the third one.
Ben, what do you think about those tempered glass? Because that's a lot of people are doing that now for tempered glass side.
What? So you can look in on the thing while it's there.
Yeah, it's just like a regular tower that has a window on it, but instead of plastic, it's actual tempered glass. It's like like it's a nicer material then.
I think if you're gonna mount it on the wall like that,
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna mount it on the other sides are just open, dust and shit's all flying in there. Just mount it on the wall.
Oh, Well, no, we were talking about the tempered glass one.
Well, leaner, it's got glass.
I like the eyes on the wall-mounted one. Are those googly eyes, or are they part of the motherboard?
What are you talking about?
The fans?
Are those just bolted on? I mean, the connecting things for the fans. It looks like they look like googly eyes on them.
Oh,
Yeah.
In the corners. You're talking about like right? Look. These things. Yeah, that's the corners of the fans. He doesn't have a lot of room in that power supply. Now that I look at it.
Oh, what is 650? You're saying that's not.
Well, no, I'm saying, look, he's only got his like main power to the board. He doesn't have any SATA at all, right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, well, it's not modular, is it?
I mean, yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah, because I mean, look, there's only there and there.
It's hard to tell. It's like green.
But yeah,
I don't see any. Where's his hard drives? Does he just have like an M.2 on the thing or something?
Well, let me look here at another picture. You know, it would be under the graphics card, and since his graphic card is vertical, I can't see a damn thing.
Yeah, like if there's.
Well, yeah.
If he doesn't have a hard drive, then he doesn't have to plug any SATA things in. But I don't know why you would have a.
He's got all these. Look at these SATA ports right here along the right side of the motherboard. They don't have anything plugged up to them. His USB header that plugs in. But yeah, I don't see any damn. Where the hell's his hard drive?
Only thing I could think of is like, did you know you could get those just like it's like a SATA to like a card reader thing, so you could just have like if you want to have one of those 256 gig little SSD or SD cards, you could actually just boot off of that.
Well, anyway, so apparently he's our winner.
Yeah.
On mine.
What's his username?
Hold on. On Reddit, he's guy ORE, live or die. He only has 20 upvotes, guys. Sorry.
Hey, Ian, can you send an invite to my girlfriend?
Oh, she's gonna be on the show.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
I told
snap.
her we were on the air, and she said that's all right.
Well, I could post the link here. There should be the Hangouts link.
Okay, so we're
in the chat.
Okay, so okay.
Okay. Fair play.
So anyway. Okay, then. So do we have a winner for your guys's
Yeah. Do you so the leaner one is the winner for his. Would you, Frank? Would you still say you liked your winner though better than the one that we picked for mine, which was the triple monitor one? Or do you think that one's actually better because?
Yeah.
Well, he's got more computers in that one, and I mean, he doesn't. He's got a smaller desk, but
yeah.
I usually don't compare the two because most of the time you're probably going to choose the ones that you picked, but
right.
I mean, it might not always be the case.
No, I mean, even though I would, don't get me wrong, I totally would. The Doom House.
Right.
I would still pick mine.
Okay.
Because, I mean, well, no,
I pick mine because mine is the best. Because I are the best.
Right. No, I would pick mine because you don't have to worry about a tower falling off. So.
Well, no, I mean would you pick the triple monitor one or would you pick the leaner? That's the question. Because the leaner is the one that won. We're just picking between the winners of the things.
Oh, my bad. Still leaner.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. I guess, do you want to... Are we going to wait for your girlfriend, or should I start the intro music for the news, or...
Oh. Hello.
Hey. Hi, Ian.
Hello.
How you doing?
Okay, how about you?
I'm good.
That's good.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh,
Short, shriveled, and always to the left.
Well, now we know how Ben's doing.
Oh, me? No, that's to the ground. So anyway.
I'll refrain from commenting on that one, hon.
Well, it's like that story of the two guys peeing off a bridge, like, man, the water's cold, isn't it? Yeah, deep too. So
I read a joke the other day, guys. You want to hear it?
Oh no. Go ahead.
Guy walks into a restaurant. He says, "You know what, sir? This is a French restaurant. It's like, so pizza?" And he goes, "No." It's like, "Well, I give up." He says, "Now you're speaking my language."
No. No.
Oh, come on.
No.
That
Ian,
was
go ahead and
joke?
start. Go ahead and start. Start the music. Ian, let's move on to the other part of the show.
Frank.
Oh, come on.
There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I guess we usually do some music for the intro of the news.
The news with Frank, Ian, Solange, and Ben. What's that?
Lodge?
Solange. That's her name,
I
frankly.
was like, what did you say?
Look, Spanklin, you need to be nicer to your announcer,
Hey.
or he's going to start saying things.
Why are you my
bad
announcer
things.
all of a sudden?
What do you mean all of a sudden? I've been announcing that bit since we started doing the news, right, Ian?
Well, it's not your
Well,
it's not your show anymore, Ben. It's not your show. I can announce my own deal.
well, you could both do it. I mean, technically
No.
it's Frank now, but there's always a place in my heart for Ben's.
Aw.
Too.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You two just hug already.
I would, but my girlfriend's here, and I'd rather be hugging her. I mean, I'd give the bro fist, Ian. Bro fist.
Bro fist.
Right.
Bro army.
All right.
Hootie Pie's bro army.
So, we got
Okay.
the fight right, the wired guide to net neutrality. Yeah, I can do it too, Ben. Yeah. Wednesday marks a day of protest across the web, with tech giants like Amazon, Facebook, Reddit, and scores more demonstrating their support for net neutrality. Rightly so, net neutrality is the defining issue of the internet today. The difference between an open online experience and one where corporations dictate what you see and how fast you can see it. So, explain what net neutrality is, I guess, right?
Right.
Where do internet babies come from, Frank? Tell us.
Well,
Yeah, Frank.
When a mommy internet and a daddy internet love each other, they make baby.
When a lonely guy and his ISP have a lot of free time on their hands.
Yes. So this is about the just what to do about net neutrality, basically. Well, they're breaking up in a bunch of little sections. Kill the open internet and wave goodbye to customer choice or consumer choice. Sorry. The former FCC defends the internet freedom. See, the former Tom Wheeler, who we thought was the devil, now we got the new devil. Different from the old
So
devil.
are people like polishing off their star on the Walk of Fame, going nothing but respect for our FCC?
Nah, son.
Anyway, go on.
Yin, since this is your story, do you have anything to add here? Because we're all well versed in the field of the net neutrality. I mean, this would be a great rating for our listeners. I don't know if anybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I should link Barnacles' video too. What do you think? Because he's got.
He explained it for yes, the layman, if you will.
Yeah.
To where you could explain it to somebody else how basically it's telecommunication versus what are they calling it now in the FCC? What's their term instead of telecom? I don't know.
Well, pretty much under the Obama had it before, where they considered your internet like a utility or whatever. Then it could be governed so that the ISPs just don't get out of control, But with no net neutrality or regulations or anything, then the ISPs could do whatever they want to. Then pretty much,
Yep, they'll be able to slow you, give you the gift of a limit and a cap. Isn't that nice?
As far as what you could do, though, I guess you could sign like petitions and stuff, or do like online petitions.
Yep,
you could.
I've done that.
You could actually I didn't get to do what I wanted to do is because I don't have my phone hooked up to the mixer or whatever. But I actually thought it would be a cool idea if we actually called the thing where I think can you like leave go through their automated system or whatever and leave a voice message. I think it would be cool if we did that on the air where I just said I'm against it or whatever,
Oh.
Yeah,
because that would have been kind of a cool idea, I think.
A lot of websites on Wednesday had, like, click here to, send your thoughts to the FCC. I know VidMe, their site, like before it loaded, it had a big thing where it would pre-send things if you wanted to. And I'm like, that's a little much. I'd kind of like to be alerted to it, but I don't need the site functionality disabled till I, get to it.
Well, the phone number is, I believe it's 1-800-CALL-FCC, whatever that translates into numbers. But
remember John Oliver,
gonna.
They got that website. They redirected it so it's go FCC yourself.
Yeah.
But
I was
just
going to try
wondering
to
since I
figure
was
out
just
how to call it on the Hangouts, but then you can't use the touch tone on the Hangouts thing, I guess.
well, see, I was just wondering since my girlfriend's Canadian, I was wondering what her stance on what their stance on net neutrality is exactly. Like, are they as worried about it with how the USA screwing it up, for other countries, or what's your country's position on net neutrality and free internet? Well, the freedom of the internet.
Yeah, because it could probably affect them too, though they're a separate government.
Well, it's like
Well,
she if I have to pay an extra Skype tax to call her, it's gonna get kind of complicated to chat as often. So, but
I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know what the country's view is on it because I don't pay that much attention to any news, let alone tech news, because I don't understand tech stuff mostly. So, yeah.
Oh.
But if it's something that's going to affect Canadian businesses, I see that being an issue.
well, I mean, really, it's like at least here, it's more that it's affecting the consumers and smaller businesses because basically the internet is a level playing field where anybody can have a site, and you can pay for advertising and all, but if you have a good service, people will still find you. They don't have to pay, they like you could like Netflix doesn't have to pay extra so people can use it, but if a competing cable company doesn't like Netflix and wants to challenge them, they can start charging extra to run Netflix, that kind of thing. It's like that's the concern. It creates an unfair advantage. And we were talking about it before the show that
Yeah.
if America is usually we usually set a standard for what other countries tend to do, and so if we do something like screw with the freedom of the internet in our area, well, then what's going to keep other countries that are less free to go, well, hey, if America is doing it, they're
Yeah, the
supposed to
cool
do
kids
the
are
same.
doing it, right?
It's like, what's to keep dictator state from doing it, or a place where they don't
Well, that only applies to a certain extent. I was actually talking with one of my friends this afternoon. We're talking just kind of about the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to use a word that doesn't fit, but it's kind of appropriate. Kind of like the arrogance of Americans as opposed to other countries. Because to a certain extent, yes, people will follow what you do. But also, you have to realize that, especially in Canada, we're not just going to blindly follow. We'll kind of stop and look at things and go, what kind of impact is this going to have? Because if it's going to have a negative impact, it's not something we're going to do. Especially with Trudeau in office. He's not going to just let things blindly happen. He's paying attention to what's going on across the country. And is aware of things such as, changes to whatever companies and internet providers and all that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, I get that Americans we like to consider ourselves exceptional and arrogant. We tend to think I'm saying it more as like the idea of setting a standard that we're one of the of the industrial worlds, the first world countries and everything. We have a big predominance in the internet, and I know other countries aren't going to follow us, blindly, but it's like if they see that we deregulate the internet, well, it's gonna, just like if the UK all of a sudden started deregulating things, if we didn't set stuff up and say no, that's not how you do things, it's like, it affects the overall line, just like with the whole argument about Brexit and the UK pulling out of the European Union. It's like it's the support of a free internet can only stand so long as you have countries that support it. Like when you get countries like China that censor the internet, and it's like you start bowing to all the different dictators of it rather than having a free platform overall. It's like the idea of it is that other countries, they want to try and I don't know. It's an overall kind of thing in my mind.
I could also argue it could affect it in other countries in indirect ways. Also, like if you start having to pay for just like a large amount of money just to be able to use Netflix and use other popular services. If that's the case, then that might, like, a lot of people would be like, screw that, and then they just won't use a lot of those services, so that could affect, like, I don't know how big Netflix is in other countries, but if everybody stopped using Netflix in America, like, that would probably affect them and like the company in a huge way, which could affect other countries that use Netflix too, I would think.
Well, I mean, Netflix Canada is it has to be owned by Canada, from what I know. It's like any American company operating in Canada, it has to have a Canadian ownership. So like the influence is a little bit different, but I think the Netflix overall infrastructure, like if the home company gets hit, then it'll be like Blockbuster. Once the home company's gone away, it's like, well, there's smaller shops still around, but we don't think about Blockbuster anymore.
Well,
yeah, like
that's
it would be bad, I'm sure.
well, the thing that the government needs to realize, in either case, Canada, the other countries, or America, is that if you are allowed to screw with the consumers to this extent, then we're just going to speak with our wallets, and they're already dropping cable, left, right, line, and if streaming stuff online is going to be too expensive, then people are just going to not pay for it, and they're going to have rabbit ears again. That's not good for business. It's not good for the economy. And it'd be nice if our government leaders would understand that and have their country's best interests in mind when they're coming up with all this crap, instead of just trying to just
well, Frank, when they're paid and taken out to dinner by lobbyists, and
I
it's
understand.
It's like a citizen's best interest. Yeah, that'd be great.
They're in the pocket. Their constituents are going to vote them the hell out of office, and
yeah, Frank, because with that healthcare thing, we totally voted people out of office that were going to take away our health. Oh wait. You have way too much confidence in the American voting public, Frank.
Well, there you have nothing at all.
Oh, hey, look, it's done.
Hey!
Oh boy, we got a full room here now.
Oh shit!
And his name is Douglas.
What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hide your kids, hide your wife, because the Bullet Club is in the house.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
I don't know if the rapist song is or the House Invader song is what you really want to be entering the room with.
Hey, let the man make his decision. He picked it. He's running with it. Okay.
Well, I mean,
we let Doug be Doug, whether that makes him look good or bad.
Hey, he could be if he's a villain, he'll be the villain you love to hate, right? So.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
So, well, let's ask Doug real quick, because we just started the news. What's your input on net neutrality, Doug? The day of protest?
Well, I mean, to be expected, yes. Things just kind of roll in, and hopefully we can keep this thing going without the FCC and the geriatric slapnuts running it currently, screwing it up for all of us.
Well, isn't the guy who's running the FCC right now, isn't he a young guy? Like,
yeah, I like to nickname him a shit pie.
Oh.
But yeah, the new guy that came in, who's all about getting rid of net neutrality, and every time someone asks him, they're like, "But how is that good for consumers?"
But no, you don't understand. It's like blah 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 lies, blah 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 bullshit.
But see, here I am with my comically sized Reese's Pieces mug. So,
what was it when they flat out asked him stuff and he just started spouting nonsense to try and confuse people? I guess.
What, you mean like our president does? So anyway,
he doesn't do that to confuse us. Does that? That's how he talks. See, I went over there.
I just love when
and
he
I bought
decides
me.
to just stand up and walk out of a thing, like the signing ceremony without even signing the thing, and Mike Pence had to chase him down. Sir, you forgot to sign.
Oh, don't you remember? He had a signing ceremony to sign a memo. Wasn't even law or anything pretending to be a law. It was a memo.
I really like the one where he decided the interview was over and just sat back in his chair and stayed in the office. And it's just like, well, that's not really that intimidating. But if you're gonna storm out, but don't just sit back and expect the other guy to leave.
I'll sit in it.
So,
Oh,
All right.
that's all
Okay,
we got
so
for this story, I guess. You guys want to move on to the second one?
yeah.
Well,
Huh?
like I said, maybe we'll try to do that another week. Like if this stuff is still going on next week.
If we still enjoy
I'd
the
like to
freedom
call.
next week.
If we still enjoy the
Yeah.
freedom to use our own internet and our own
Well,
houses,
it's like George Carlin said. Oh, I love the freedoms we used to have.
Yeah. But if I call it's 1-800
So,
call
news story number
FCC.
2, Frank, please continue.
Well, can I say something real quick, Ben? I was saying that I'm gonna try to call the number, and if it's an automated message, we could. I'll just do that. If it's a person, I'm gonna have to say as soon as I'm talking to them that they're being recorded, probably. Right.
hello. Thank you for calling the Federal Communications Commission.
your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got. Okay, next story.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I love Tech Dirt, but damn, I'm not reading all that. Okay. Privacy International sues U.S. government over denied access to Five Eyes surveillance agreements. Five Eyes, like Five Guys, where you get a lot of fries with your meal. Okay.
5 fries.
The last
You
thing,
get 5 fries.
the last thing anyone heard about Five Eyes surveillance partnerships via official channels was that more than 7 years ago. In the intervening years, leaked documents have shed a little light on the information sharing Five Eyes countries: U.S., UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand engage in. But the last Five Eyes agreement release is now more than 60 years old. The Five Eyes group has existed since 1946, and the last document officially published about it comes from 1955. Since then, vast technological changes have altered how national security bodies collect and store information. The modern era of Five Eyes surveillance has only been through leaked Snowden documents. Coverage of these documents is noted in Privacy International's FOIA lawsuit against a handful of U.S. government agencies. PI has been asked for updated versions of the Five Eyes agreement since late last year. Unsurprisingly, the agencies queried haven't responded. The agencies named as defendants, the NSA, ODNI, Office of the Director of National Intelligence, State Department, and NARA, National Archives and Records Administration, have all had at least 100 days to respond to PI's request. None of them have responded positively. The NSA said all records were exempt from disclosure. So what's this about here, Ian? Give me the gist of it before I talk myself.
I haven't read the whole article, so. Well, this Five Eyes thing is like it's kind of like, like a multi-country, signals and intelligence sharing type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like been a lot of the big discussions amongst like conspiracy theory people and stuff, about privacy and, they're trying to rule the world or some shit.
Right.
That
makes sense.
But yeah, so I guess this company is suing them over their agreements and stuff that they think that the public should have access to. So.
Oh, so they're saying that the public should have access to their records and They're like, we're not going to talk to you. No.
Yeah, it says or did you want to read the one that's like it's like a 3 paragraph quote or whatever?
Where's
That
that?
kind of breaks it down.
Oh, in the middle here, the smaller
Yeah.
section, many individuals.
In pursuant to blah 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 blah, requests that blah 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 turn over files pertaining to redacted.
Now, Dougie, if you need to go to the restroom, you raise your hand, young man. You don't take the hall pass from Franklin.
Now, listen here, Frankie. All right.
Oh boy.
Many individuals today live major portions of their lives online. They use the internet to communicate with others, impart ideas, conduct research, explore their sexuality, seek medical advice and treatment, correspond with lawyers, and express personal views. They also increasingly use the internet to conduct many ordinary activities such as keeping records, arranging travel, and carrying out financial transactions. Today, much of this activity is conducted on mobile digital devices such as cellular phones, which could just as easily be called cameras, video players, Rolodexes, calendars, tape recorders, libraries, diaries, albums, televisions, maps, or newspapers. Bradley versus California. The internet has of a greater quantities of personal data about communications known as metadata. Metadata is information about a communication with the sender and recipient, the date and location from where it was sent, and the type of device used to send it. Metadata can reveal web browsing activities which reveal medical conditions, religious viewpoints, or political affiliations. It can also reveal items purchased, news sites visited, forums joined, games played. Communications, emails, instant messages, calls, social media posts, web searches, requests to visit a website that utilizes the internet can take any viable route to their destination. Distance is not a determinative factor. They have the potential to travel around the world, even if the information is being sent between two people or a person and an entity within a single country or even a single city. The dispersion of the communications across the internet vastly increases the opportunities of communications and data to be intercepted by foreign governments who may then share them with other governments. That all you want me to read there, Ian?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like they just want to know what the agreements are between like what kind of all this information that they share with each other and that they collect and everything.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I can kind of also understand why they don't want to tell people shit.
Yeah, well, it says the agency's named as defendants. The NSA, ODNI, State Department, and NARA, National Archives and Records Administration, have all had at least 100 days to respond to PI's request. None of them have responded positively. Then NSA said all records were exempt from disclosure. The ODNI and NARA haven't responded at all, other than to note the request has been received. The State Department offered to administratively close PI's request if it didn't respond to the agency's letter within 20 days, despite the State Department having done nothing to advance the request during the previous 180 days. So they're pretty much just like, screw you. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it takes a lot to go to any big government agency and say, hey, you should tell us what you're doing. And they go, get out of here, little boy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But this Five Eyes thing has been around since like the 40s, and they're pretty much like, like each country is pretty much like NSA and State Department and stuff sharing all their information with each other, and they call it the Five Eyes because each country is watching you and they're telling each other what they're seeing and everything,
Big Brother is watching.
Yeah, well, it's Big Brothers. That's what this is. Big though, all the brothers. So
I think this is pretty interesting, but it's going to be hard to get people amped up about it because it's a lot of text.
Yeah, well, it's U.S., UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So yeah,
It's
it is
important.
Canada also.
Crikey.
What was that? Was that the crocodile hunter?
Crikey.
Oh, hey, I get. Okay.
In the video, kitty cat.
What? I forget what's your name again?
Solange?
Solange.
Yep.
Okay. What are your opinions on this? Because obviously your country does this too. Then they're part of this agreement.
I'm not too sure. I don't speak for all of Canada. So,
No, you're the only Canadian. There's no one else in that whole country, just you.
Do you care if your TV's watching you?
well,
Wasn't it
do I care if it's watching me? No. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, if they're paying attention to what I'm watching, or they
No,
can see me?
well, depending on the type of TV that you have, a lot of these newer smart TVs have cameras in them, so you could do like Connect type things where you can give commands to the TV, or like you could do you could use it as like a webcam for certain apps and stuff. Is that right, Frank?
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about, Ian.
Don't talk into your microphone because then Kelly, who was that woman that spoke for Trump, talking about your microwaves listening in on you?
That's who it was.
Kellyanne Conway?
I think that was her name.
Yeah. So
You Connect.
if you don't want your TV to watch you, don't get a TV with a camera. It's not that difficult.
well, it's not that difficult now, but what happens when that's the only TVs out there?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
Camera up.
it's not one part. It's that everything is like becoming smart, and you're not going to be able to get away with it. It's going to be harder and harder. So like you're gonna shut everything up, or have like
Well, okay, you may not be able to buy a TV without a camera, but you know what? Electrical tape still exists. Get rid of the fuck up.
So,
but it could still
look,
hear you though.
guys, there could be
So
a.
if you're
yeah, they can still hear you having sex on the couch.
I don't care if they hear me having sex on the couch.
What?
I care if they hear us having sex on the couch.
Really?
Well, the government is not listening to you have sex on a couch, okay?
It's the government interns that are listening to you have sex on the couch, and then
And the president doesn't have time. He's wiretapped. Hello.
well, he would just call us fake sex because that's what, just like his fake news.
I'm gonna change this to my user picture. Just be a static picture of Kellyanne Conway with her lazy eye.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I don't mean to mean anybody by the looks, but her brain is just as empty. So, hi, Doug.
Well, forward all your emails to Frank and Thompson.
Thanks for giving everyone my name, Ian. About my privacy. Privacy.
Oh snap.
But it says it on your
Quiet,
icon.
Yeah, it's not that hard to figure out, Frankie.
Shut up, Doug.
Okay, so Doug, what's your take on this listening to from your TVs and such?
Yeah, do you care about that stuff?
Honestly, the thing about it is this. I mean, if it's happened to our phone lines for so long, does it really even matter anymore?
Yeah.
Well, when you disappear and you're replaced by somebody because you bought the wrong TV and you didn't ask questions.
They came for my
No.
neighbor. I said
But-
nothing. When they came for me, no one was left.
But seriously, though, when you really stop to think about it, I mean, everyone's talking about privacy laws, when honestly, you've been spied on probably since the day you were born, and you didn't even know it until some goof or round of goofs on the internet told you so. I mean, this entire tinfoil hat they're watching us deal really ramped up with the advent of like early 2000s internet. And it's something that, you know, you have GPS on your cell phone, so they pretty much know wherever you are at any time. They can override almost anything on your phones, even going back to the old Nokia candy bar styles.
Yeah.
This type of honestly, I kind of call it fear mongering, where everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, they're listening, they're watching." Yeah, they've been doing it for the past 20, 30 years, and nobody's really made that much of a big deal about it, unless
So
they
there's the problem.
X-Files.
So there's the problem. It's not that the countries are doing anything lawful or, unlawful or behind your back. It's that you're asking too many questions, citizen. What's wrong with you? That's what Doug's here to tell us. Quit talking about it and it'll go away.
You're living in what's essentially a digital, like essentially the digital Wild West. Shit is still fucked up since day one, and fucking Will Smith is not here to save your ass.
Wild Wild West.
Wild,
yeah, it's like.
You know,
did you like that movie, The
God no.
Enemy of the State, with Will Smith and Gene Hackman?
I thought you were talking about the Wild Wild West.
Did you any of you guys ever see that movie?
The West, Jim West, Desperado. Rough Rider, no, you don't want nada.
Well, I think what Ben's pretty much he's saying is just deal with it. Nothing you do.
Well,
honestly, that's really
deal with it.
I mean, everyone's uproar. We have to know how much the government knows, not thinking that the government knows all the shit, and that's how they catch real criminals. That's how they are able to intercept terrorists. When they're making calls from wherever to wherever or sending emails. This type of thing has been going on since communication was full scale initiated on a digital scale.
Yeah, but
they said in the article that they haven't updated their policy since the 50s. So, if you're cool with all the Mad Men era stuff that went on and all this stuff that was just accepted back then, fine, but no.
No, Doug, I'm just my statement is that complacency does not make something normal. I mean, if you just accept it, then they with the craziness. We had a story last week. Hold on, we had a story last week about how they had one warrant and they listened to how many phone calls?
Yeah, it was like millions of stuff. I think the point is that they try to actively hide it though. That's the main problem. Is like, sure, all this you're not going to be able to get away from all this stuff, but shouldn't you at least be able to know about like what?
Hell no.
What parts of your life could be possibly logged?
Hell no.
It's like, well, why should we let you know what's inside the cereal? I mean, you've known for a long time, and it didn't just stop you from eating this shit and getting fat. So what's it matter if you know what's in there? It's the same thing.
I'm glad you made that analogy. Here,
Okay.
I'm not sure if you got this in Canada, Solange, but this is what happened about 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
This guy on Facebook is like, I'm never eating cereal with trisodium phosphate ever again. I'm never eating this ever again, and I suggest that you never eat it as well. Trisodium phosphate is what I use in construction to bleach and use as a detergent to clean floors. I use this as a cleaning agent, and you're putting this into your bodies.
Mm-hmm.
You should never have this at all. I don't know if you guys saw this. Flip side, trisodium phosphate has been in your cereals since the 1940s and 1950s. It is true, it is the exact same compound that is what is used in cleaning and detergents and whatnot. However, the amount that you need to actively even come close to a biotoxin overdose level would be the equivalent of me or you eating an entire cereal aisle's worth at once to even be close to a level of a biotoxin overdose.
Well, I'm fucked then.
At one time, in one sitting. It's fucking impossible. When you do things like this, and you have to have surveillance and intelligence in governments, and especially in this age with all the crazy some bitches coming for us. You know what? Every once in a while, we don't need to know shit. And the fact is, we've been dealing with it for so long. Ain't had a fucking problem with it 20 years ago when they were saving our asses. Why would you have a problem with it now?
Well, if you know the
For the
details of
record-
who got secretly murdered, you know, I'd kind of like to know. That's just me.
Well, that just
Yeah.
means you don't cross Don Corleone.
Well,
Well-
the problem too is that article that we did last time was wasn't there, Frank, where they didn't find anybody when they did that mass wiretap or whatever of like millions of people. There, nothing even came out of it, so it's not like it really even helps that side of it.
Guys,
I think somebody wants to go to the bathroom or has a question.
No, I have a comment.
I think the lady
You
has
know,
a comment. Yes.
Poor Solange.
I was asked a question, and I love and appreciate how considerate you all were and in answering it for me. Thank you, all of you. And I have to note that the first person to jump in and answer for me
What-
is my.
Did we
my
answer?
boyfriend.
Hopefully, we didn't answer the question. Are you guys just like all idiots? Hopefully, we didn't answer that question.
We answered
yes,
that
that was long
question
ago,
a long
Ian.
time ago.
Yeah, that was answered long ago.
Aw,
I'm
dang.
sorry. But anyways, Doug, to answer your question, in Canada we don't have trisodium phosphate in our cereal. So I don't. Okay, you have to forgive me. There was a lot of people who jumped in. I don't remember what your exact question was. Was it whether I'm concerned about it being there, or was it concerned about?
Well, it's about a rising concern in an era that is more information heavy. We're very information heavy right now.
Okay.
Like you
So-
can basically type in blah 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 into your search engine, and then you get 30,000 articles on it. And now we're all like, self-made geniuses on subject X, not knowing what's actually going on in the background and how long it's been going on. That's something I brought up a couple of times on the show, is that we live in such an age right now where the practices that people are questioning have been saving lives more than hurting lives for much longer than many of us even know what's been going on. And now there's oh, I have a problem with it. Well, that's fine. You object to it, and but the overarch of certain programs and what happens with CIA, NSA, is that it exists for the protection of the citizens. And I just see a lot of people who have issues with a policy, but didn't have an issue with the policy when it was saving them. You know what I mean?
I understand. What I would say is that, Canada is very different from America. We're definitely not Americans like that, frankly. We have always been a consumer country that is aware of what's going into products, that pays attention to what people are doing, government, regulators, all that kind of thing. Me personally, I don't remember a time where I didn't check labels when I bought stuff, but that's partially because, I grew up with a few allergies, partially because I'm a cook. So I'm always like, well, what has been put into this product that I'm either putting on my body, putting into my body? I've always been that kind of a person. Canada is a fairly well-educated country. And so I don't know what the laws are in the States, so forgive me, but pretty much anything you buy that is that you're either putting on your body, in your body, anything like that, it's required to have ingredient listings. So if you want to know what you're putting on or into your body, you can find out just that easily. And it's been like that for at least 30 years, easily.
And it's the same in the States. It's just you have some people who they notice an ingredient And a lot of people will thought that trisodium phosphate was something they just added. Like it's
it's a new
something
ingredient they're adding.
It
Okay.
was they just within the past couple of years they're adding it and they're poisoning our children and
Like, and my response to someone like that is very much similar to what you said, because, like, you look at something. The best example I can think of is actually MSG. You know, you walk into.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
You walk into a room full of people and you ask how many people are allergic to MSG, and a certain percentage is going to raise their hand. And I actually saw a thing. This was actually also almost 20 years ago. I saw a thing on TV where they did a blind study, of a room full of people, fed them all. They didn't actually even tell them they're not putting MSG into the food. Everybody ate, and of course, people had headaches. And they revealed to them that nobody ate MSG. Then all of a sudden, nobody had headaches except for one person. And so they spoke with the person, did some testing, and found out he was genuinely allergic to the fake MSG. However, the thing that is interesting is non-fake MSG, real MSG, is made from seaweed, which is actually very healthy for you. And so if you're eating seaweed sourced MSG, it's a healthy thing for you to have. Your body requires it. It helps your body work a lot better. Very high in electrolytes and all that kind of thing. So, you're definitely... Sorry, but America is a country full of fearmongers. People who prey on it, people who thrive on it. And it's like, I could walk up to somebody on the street and I don't know if it's to the point that I could walk up to somebody and go, looks like you're pregnant, mister. Kind of thing. And be like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, kind of thing. Whereas up here, it's like, well, no, you tell a guy he looks like he's pregnant, he's going to go fuck you and punch you in the face.
Well,
I think.
Can I ask you and Doug, like, what do you think about that whole GMO thing? Like, a lot of people say they should label that on there, but then they're like, oh, then you'd have to pretty much label everything, which I say, go ahead, why not label everything? At least you know what it is, Yeah. I say knowledge isn't a bad thing, Doug.
Well, I'm not a thing of knowledge being a bad thing, but knowledge can be twisted, misused. I mean, go on to WebMD. Everyone's dead. Everyone's dead.
Well,
everybody has cancer on WebMD. Yeah.
No, WebMD gives you cancer. That's a secret.
And
I think it causes cancer.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure it does.
that's kind of a microcosm of what's really going on. Is that everyone is so all of a sudden out of nowhere concerned, where concern isn't really warranted in a lot of cases. Information isn't necessarily a bad thing. It really isn't. But when you're talking about the protection of your country, I don't need to know if they're hunting some terrorist dude in my city. All I care about is that they're taking the steps to get some terrorist dude out of my city and either in jail or deport them if that happens to be the case. If it's somebody homegrown, lock them up. It's one of those things where we're demanding a lot out of a situation where we have little right to know and little function to know, because I mean, you take a look at a lot of the information that got out about of course, you probably remember the Boston Marathon bomber. I mean, one little piece of information got out and half the city was in a fucking uproar. People freaking out, not wanting to trust anybody on their streets. It's almost to the point now where we're having to sectionalize how people live just because of how much information they get. They do it to themselves.
Frank, could you bring up the fourth article that I have here, because this directly relates to probably a good argument here. DHS CBP admit they have no legal authority to access American social media accounts. So they pretty much admit themselves that they're they got their hand in the cookie jar. You know.
I like cookies.
Cookies are good. I make amazing cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I can testify.
I know.
Testify.
Testify.
that's a demon.
Hallelujah!
Oh, my brother.
Exercise the cookie demons.
So, since at least 2009, the DHS has asserted a legal right to copy/search the contents of anyone's electronic devices at the border. Its privacy assessment said no one has much privacy, at least not near U.S. borders. Building on years of judicial, national security defense, the DHS has recently expanded its searches of electronic devices, eliminating most of its adherence to the Fourth Amendment in the process. If the devices wander into the country's constitution-free zones, you can expect to suffer diminished expectations of privacy. Nothing that border searchers of electronic devices were increasingly exponential, more searches in February 2017 alone than in all of 2015. Senator Ron Wyden did two things: introduced a bill creating a warrant requirement of border electronic device searches and asked the CBP, Customs and Border Protection, about its new demands for social media/email account passwords. The DHS has responded to Wyden's questions in the anti-pricing. U.S. border officials aren't allowed to look at any data stored only in the cloud, including social media data. When they search U.S. travelers' phones, Customs and Border Protection acknowledged in a letter obtained Wednesday by NBC News. The letter, sent in response to inquiries by Senator Ron Wyden and verified by Wyden's office, not only states that CBP doesn't search data stored only with remote cloud services, but also, apparently for the first time, declares that it doesn't have the authority in the first place. Ooh. So no one made us think about it all these years. They've been okay with it, and turns out they were wrong.
Yeah, like, I just think privacy, I agree with the idea of privacy being like a fundamental right, you know, because, I mean, and you're forgetting, though, you can't, like, treat everybody, you know, like that they're criminals already before they're even, you know, like, charged with anything, you know. We're supposed to be innocent before guilty, not the other way around.
Thing is, though, all you need is one warrant. Someone pops up on a watch list. Doesn't take much to obtain a warrant at that time. Detained at the border, a warrant you can get in 4 to 6 hours. That right there is just a formality. That's all it is. That right there is them establishing a legal procedural hurdle that they must clear. That is it.
Doug, when you go to the bathroom, like if you have company there, why do you close the door?
Why do I close the door? Well,
yeah, when you go to the bathroom.
Because he really likes fiber.
Yeah, you know, that crackling oat bran and Horkin fiber chunks are just...
I ate a lot of asparagus that day.
Dog's bollocks, man.
You've seen that. You've seen the powder he eats all the time.
Currently, I am drinking La Croix sparkling water, which, by the way, the ingredients of such are carbonated water and natural flavor, sodium-free.
I served some mozzarella shredded cheese product at work the other day that may contain natural flavor. I was amused. I'm scared.
It's cheese product.
More like may contain unnatural flavor.
No, you're more likely it's plastic with little shavings of cheese flavor in there.
Well, what do you think about this, Frank, or anybody that wants to give an opinion? I mean, like you shut the door so you could have some personal privacy. I mean, you could either be just using the bathroom or you could be shooting up heroin. I mean, but that's your personal right to have that, your personal freedom, you know.
But the fact still remains that if you're on a standard watch list, or if you exhibit clear signs of a action, or they got the dogs at the border, they sniff out your car.
Or
So
if
the
you know
fact
you're
of the
not
matter
white.
stands that, I mean, eventually, they don't have to search your phone, but
They're
they'll get a
gonna.
warrant to do so later on.
Yeah, but the
They
thing
can't
is
do
they're
it on their own.
Well, Doug, you know that the only thing that needs to land you on a no-fly list is you don't need to know why, but you also can have your name can get you on a no-fly list. There's been 13-month-old babies on no-fly
yeah.
lists
I was gonna
because of their
say
names, and also if you get searched at the border, they can get a warrant, but you'll be in the country before then. That's
Oh, you can be detained while they execute a warrant.
Yeah, but you can be if you're being detained and no charges have been filed. Isn't that a little something you're concerned about? I mean, we had a place, Gitmo, where you could be held indefinitely, and they didn't know how to get rid of the people because they didn't technically have any record of what they did. They weren't officially charged with crimes, but they were still a questionable.
Oh, well, they still.
It was a very complicated situation, and when you start saying that with anybody coming into any border and just say, well, if their name's
Well,
on a
that's-
list, well, we just have to assume they're bad. I mean, that's all well and good until you find your name is on a list, and I'm not going to wait till my name is on a list to say that's a bad thing.
Well, you also got to think, too, is that, again, this type of action has been happening for a very long time, and the percentage of people getting detained for X reason is staggeringly low.
Yeah, but they're still going through your phones. They said more in 2017 than in February of 2017 than all of 2015. So that is a spike in their searches. What's
We
the
also
reason
see a
for that?
spike of mobile users and people taking other types of electronics over the border.
In the past month versus the past 2 years.
Imagine how many mobile devices have seen a sale within the past 2 years.
So you're telling me that more people were all
Samsung is
about getting a
about to
sale
announce-
on the last iPhone than when the
Samsung
iPhone
is
came
about to
out?
announce their biggest quarter ever in the entire history of the company, and about to outdo Apple's greatest quarter in history. And you can't tell me that cell phones are being sold more than ever. In the past 2 years, we've been seeing Obama phones, the
Okay.
free phones, mind you, that are smartphones going out as well. You're talking about massive device flooding out to the masses. Trust me when I tell you that just within the past 2 years, you've probably seen an extra 20 to 30% any type of smart device hit the streets.
But no, they say right here in February 2017 they did more searches
Yeah,
all of the year 2015 in 1 month.
That's
That
quite
sounds.
possible.
I like the way
That's-
Doug phrased that because he said, "Trust me." That's pretty much exactly what the government and people who tell you not to question all this stuff. They go, "Trust us that we're not going to use this for any other reason than
I'm sorry,
we're keeping
Doug.
you safe."
I'm a technological dude too. I smell bullshit here. I'm sorry.
well, hey, if you pull up the third article, Frank, it says the DHS goes biometric and they want to start face scanning you, but they said, hey, travelers, you can opt out of that if you just don't travel.
Oh, okay. That's
You don't
cool.
need to. The government has argued in court that flying is a privilege, not a right. And the DHS
Hey.
seems hell-bent on making flyers pay for every bit of that privilege.
If you don't, hey, no one has died from not having access to healthcare. Remember that's an actual statement.
You don't have to use the internet, right? That one senator said.
Right? It's true. You don't.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're fucking idiot. Yeah, we're gonna scan your face, but just stay at home, and then we'll scan you with the microwave. Crawl inside your television set. Watch it there. We'll get you coming and going.
Doug, I think everybody here could agree that we don't want to see 1984, do we?
Why wouldn't I wanna
1984
see that?
started happening around 2002.
That's a bad thing.
Okay.
People should have the right to know about that too.
Right. So, what's the Canadian views on our government's statement about traveling and how it's not a requirement? Solange?
How which is not a requirement.
Oh, it's not a right. Traveling isn't a right that they're arguing.
Traveling by air is not a right. So we
It's privilege.
Yeah, we just just don't fly if you don't want to get your face scanned.
Well, flying isn't a right. Under basic human rights, flying isn't one of them. Basic human rights are food, home, shelter, or food, shelter, clothing.
You don't think you have a right to move from point A to point B just because this article says traveling isn't a right? They generally say that, not just flying.
Traveling.
Yeah.
You stay in your
I would
boy.
say traveling is not a right. I would say the ability to move is. I would separate traveling from moving because
what's the difference? How you travel, like what you use?
Well, solid citizens like to differentiate between I was not driving, I was traveling, because they think it means something different in legalese. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interject.
It's okay. What I was about to say is, owning a car is not a fucking right. It's a privilege. I'm lucky that I own a car. And I realize that it's a privilege for me to own a car. It is my right to be able to walk out my door and go where I want to go. But my method of getting there, if it's anything more than my own 2 feet, it's a privilege. If I'm lucky enough to have a car, it's a privilege. If I have a horse and buggy, it's a privilege. If I fly in a plane, it's a privilege. Because how you move or travel is a privilege. You
say that because cars can kill people and stuff? Is that why you would classify that?
I'm saying that because I have lived both with and without a car, and not having a car is not a right. Having a car is a privilege, or if you want to put it, is lucky. The person who can afford a car is a lucky person. Because I live in a city where of about 200,000 people, I could even begin to tell you how many people can't afford a car. And so I would say that the luxury of travel is definitely a privilege.
Well, I think but what about once the country really is a lot of people who are living outside of their means. Yes, you can have a nicety for a little while until your credit card explodes, but once you have said car, I think you should still be allowed to drive it where as long as you're within the legal means to drive it where you want, and you should be able to fly if you can afford. I mean, you can afford first class. I mean, I don't see what the problem is.
They're not saying that we can't drive or fly, but they're saying that the ability to do so is a privilege. Go back 100 years. Okay, I'll admit my history is not great. I don't know exactly when the first transatlantic flight happened or anything like that, or North American flight. I know flight is around 100 years old. So let's say go back 150 years. If a person wanted to get from Ottawa to Vancouver, there wasn't a lot of ways to do it. Chances are if you're doing that, you probably had a ticket on a train. Or you had a horse and buggy because that was the only way to travel. So the fact that we now live in 2017 where we have airplanes, we have sent people on, we've done space tourism. That's definitely a privilege. We have the right to go to wherever we want to go, but how we get there is a privilege.
Well, but why do you say that? Like, if you buy a car and stuff, you should be able to do whatever you want with it then, right?
Yes. having that car is a privilege. Owning a car does not automatically mean that I can... Actually, no. Owning a car is a responsibility. Because I can't do whatever I want with the car. I can't drive my car into somebody's house. I can't go and park my car in somebody's driveway and get out and...
Well,
Or,
okay.
I can't go and park my car in the Walmart parking lot and have sex in it. You know,
I mean,
because-
they do.
Aw.
Ben?
I'm sorry, hon.
What
But
about my car?
it doesn't even have tinted windows. So, anyways,
I can tint them.
I guess I'm just
Anyway.
asking, why does it matter what you use? If you have the right to go from point A to point B, what does it matter what the mechanism that you use? Like if you use a bike or you use a car or whatever, it's just a way for you to go a little bit faster than walking. I mean,
but it's the reason I've said, because how do you obtain these things? With money.
Yes.
You know, whether it's credit or, you know, money that you have and pay, pay cash, whatever, you're still using money to pay for these things.
You
so
also pay
in
for
order-
shoes to go on your feet, though.
You don't require shoes to go
Yes,
for a
you
walk.
do. Oh, yes, you do. If I wanted to walk to Canada right now, I would need some nice shoes.
That's your own personal.
That's your own personal choice.
No.
Benjamin, your objection is overruled.
Benjamin has no objection. No, Franklin
I
says.
was gonna say Franklin. This is Frank,
Well,
not Ben.
I'm
but
I'm
No, they're
just
both
saying,
the
my
same.
question is if you had to have surgery and had to be airlifted to it, and they said, well, sorry, you don't have the right to fly, does that mean flying is not a right required of people? Because the only place they
I'm
can
gonna
treat
say,
you would
I
be
would say,
flying.
okay, if I had to have surgery and needed to be airlifted to it, and I would ask what the reason why I couldn't be flown to it. Is it because of my insurance? Is it because of my physical condition?
I'm
You're-
saying
if-
if the money was taken out of the equation and the government said, we're sorry, you can't fly to this place, if say there was something like say I had to get airlifted to Canada for a special medical treatment, but my government decided that no, you don't need to fly.
Oh, I'm gonna
yeah,
say
if you're
that
on that no-fly list.
your government doesn't offer medical coverage. So in Canada, if I wanted to fly to the States to have an American procedure done, I would be responsible to pay for it.
Yes, but I'm saying
And so then-
take the price out of it.
Just hang on. Just hang on. So me flying to the States to have a medical procedure done is a privilege. It's not my right to go to the States and have a medical procedure done. It's not my country. I have the right to medical coverage within my country. So if I needed to fly to Calgary to have a medical procedure done, and the government told me no, I would ask the government why. Because I know that in Canada, the only reason the government would be saying no is because I was medically unfit to fly.
Well,
So, and that
well,
would be
okay.
something done under the advisement of the doctors. The government
just-
itself would not be saying that I'm not allowed to fly. It would
well, what
have to
about
be
it?
doctors.
What about in countries like say Iran or Egypt that when you want to say, hey, you need to or if someone in North Korea, if they had to go to a U.S. or a world specialist brain surgeon have brain surgery, but their government said, no, we're not on friendly terms with them. What
They
happened?
wouldn't be allowed to go. They
So
would
they
not
don't-
be
they
allowed to
don't-
go.
So
It,
they don't
it
have a right
happens
just
all the
because.
time.
I'm saying though, you don't believe that humans have a right to have life-saving medical treatment because their government decides for them that they should die.
Well, you're also gouging really heavy into that style of topic. There aren't very many countries that are not going to allow you to be airlifted to have a medical procedure done to save your life.
No, but
Like,
we did have a travel ban that kept Pakistani robot building girls from competing in recently because of the Trump travel ban. They couldn't enter the states because all of a sudden the president decided that we weren't getting people from that country in here. So it's
And
fairly
none
it's
of us
fairly
are-
applicable. People are being denied access to the country.
We're all
because
pontificating like assholes. None of
you know.
us.
yeah, we're not lawyers. We're just trying to
Yeah.
what's
It's
the
a
word?
discussion we're all having.
Philosophize about what our like what you think our rights should be
Here in
as
the
far as
States,
just like general
voters-
human. beings.
We call this shooting the shit and cracking open a cold with boys. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that when you take a lot of how these topics are being applied, I mean, who is really going to have an issue where they can't be airlifted? Most of the time, it's not the point of you have the option to fly. It's a point of you have to fly or else you die, and nobody really gives a flying hootenanny how you get there as long as you get there. I have never heard of anybody being denied being airlifted because of being on a no-fly zone list.
No, but then again, there were, let's see, black people
Yeah,
were
it's
allowed
happened.
to go to white people hospitals because they didn't accept black people. I mean, you want to say I don't know of a case? Well, it's not that hard to find parallels outside of just flying. You know,
Again, flying is a luxury, not something
Exactly.
that anybody does off the street. You're talking about flying. You're talking about something that you do with money, which you have the option to do, not something that you have to do every day.
well, people are saying in the government they're arguing that healthcare isn't a right because it relies on money, and if you choose not to buy our expensive government insurance, it's not a right that you get health coverage. It's just that you couldn't afford it, so therefore you don't have the right to it. Well, that's convenient.
You're taking healthcare and liking it to getting in a plane and going somewhere. That is a parallel that has no equal. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
It has no equal that they say. Well, your argument was that it's based on money and a money transaction. That if you had the money for it, then you should be able to do this. But then it becomes, well, healthcare.
But you're
If you
also
don't have the money for
talking about the
healthcare, then
government
fuck you. That's what you're
is
saying, Doug. That is what you're saying. You've narrowed it down. You've narrowed it down to a money argument, and they're saying if you choose not to buy the thing, if you choose not to pay for the ticket to fly.
So what's this other article you got here, Ian?
If anybody's interested, I just posted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. It doesn't say anything about flying.
Logic smite.
You're welcome.
So I
I'm
think
both
we
a
need
woman
more.
and Canadian. I win.
We're just trying to say you should have more. We should be having more rights. I mean,
No.
we've had less and less rights before, and then we fought for them, and then we get to have more rights now.
So we all agree then that obviously that doctor didn't have the right to be on that plane, and it was okay to drag him out and give him a concussion when he was going to be performing that brain surgery that he was on the plane to go perform. That's we're all cool with that. Is that?
Well, he fought to stay on that plane. He couldn't have.
He didn't fight. He didn't want to leave, and they forcibly dragged him out of his seat.
Hey, he flies the friendly skies of United.
Not anymore.
Pretty much.
Could I point one thing out too? Is a lot of these people that do go to the airports and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to be either do the body scan or you have to be have that thorough, what a lot of people call rape downs." That a lot of times they'll be like, "No, screw that. Then I just want to fly." They'll choose not to fly, but then in a lot of instances, they actually call the police on them because they're like, "Oh, they're suspicious. They don't want to do this." So, like, even when you choose to opt out of it, it's like you could get screwed too, you know.
And that's when the big wigs with the lawsuits come out, and
I like it when people record in the airports of this type of stuff happening to them. I think that's a good thing.
So, ARC's controversial price hike highlights the trouble with pricing early access games, huh?
Yeah, the makers of ARC doubled their price right before they decided to release it.
What? I didn't know that shit. I bought that game. I didn't know that. Shh, the version is based on Facebook. Game pricing is a thorny question that we've taken a crack at before, but this week we're dealing with two considerably thornier questions. How much should an early access game cost, and should that cost increase when it officially launches? Last week, Ark Survival Evolved developer Studio Wildcard announced that its dinosaur survival game was getting a price increase on Steam from $30 to $60 to ensure retail parity. Matched press the console versions ahead of the game's August launch. Many are less than pleased with the price hike. Some Ark fans suggest that given an ongoing bugs and server issues, the game isn't worth $60. Some who've held off on purchasing the game are unwilling to pay double the early access price. DayZ creator and Ark fan Dean Hall called the increase greed, purple, in a series of scathing tweets, and a troubling sign that Wildcard is disconnecting from its community. There's a lot to unpack here, so we reached out to several prominently early access developers to hear their take on how early access games should be priced. What price is right? Many early access games see a small price increase when they officially launch.
Oh no! Over the weekend.
Nothing.
What? Oh, is that you?
Yeah, I originally got this article from the Know, and I was just making sure that this was recent.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, that was July 10th. So this, yeah, I don't understand like what the game is like. So it's like you were able to get it early, like, and it's an early access thing, but it's not actually like officially out yet or something.
Yeah, early access basically means that it's in a beta, pre-release state. So they were still fixing things and adding things to the gameplay, and they want people to play it and see what they like and what they can add and what changes they can make, and might roll stuff like that into the game. It's a fairly common thing these days.
Right, but you guys that already paid for it, you guys don't have to pay that other money then, that new people are having to pay for it now?
I'll see, that's the slippery slope here, because, you might have to get download. They sometimes slap it out as digital DLC content. So, you need to pay for that upgrade, and part it out and make it more expensive in the long run.
This is why Steam is shit.
Or if you want Steam, I mean, you could get a shitty game that's not optimized on any platform. I mean,
Steam's early access program has been shit from the beginning. It's shit up until the time it died, and the new Steam early access program is still shit.
You just hate everything tonight, don't you, Doug?
Don't mix words with us. Tell us how you really
Sterling's son, okay?
He hates freedom. He hates flying. He hates games. He likes billiards.
He loves San Dimas.
That was a good call. I like that. That's a good pull.
So, like, why does Steam suck now, even though everybody loves Steam?
That's jealousy is what I hear.
One, I don't know if you ever heard of this game. It's a little game called The Slaughtering Grounds.
Okay.
A microcosm of what has always been wrong with how Steam has done their early access games program. Have you heard of The Slaughtering Grounds?
I haven't, but Frank has.
It's time for you to get learnt, get turned, and in turn get burnt, okay? Because
this is what you've been missing, Solange. You haven't heard it.
So, Slaughtering Grounds was a game that came out a couple years back, and Jim Sterling fucking tanked it. I'm talking, called it the worst game to ever hit Steam. They responded by suing him for like $12 million because they thought they were going to sell $12 million worth of game, and then Jim Sterling just fucked it up, right? So, essentially, they made a shit game, someone called them out for it, they sued, and then eventually lost. But this company, which was Digital Homicide, was pumping out 2 and 3 games a week, oftentimes the same exact game over and over again. If these people complaining about how shitty the game is, but they paid $30 to play an early access version of a game that's going to end up shit, and now people are going to be upset having to pay $60 for a game that might end up shit. Speaking of shit PC games that people pay early access prices for, Batman Arkham Knight. The early access thing going up to paying X amount of dollars for a brand new fucking game is shit.
Doug, you can't compare digital homicide games to Ark. I'm
sure
sorry.
You can. If they made shit and they made shit, shit is shit, so get shit on.
Just because they have the word game next to it does not make them on equal playing ground. Comparing Candy Crush to fucking anything on a PlayStation, okay? I don't know what the hell.
If
bullshit.
the game,
I feel silly for even trying to argue with them
it gets
about
the
anything.
same rating. If the game is shoddy, it gets the same rating.
Digital.
It's judged on its pluses, its minuses, its quality, and quality is something that people generally know overall. And unfortunately, with how Steam Early Access is and has always been, and even with the new program, it's still pretty shit. People are essentially paying for games that they don't know what they're paying for.
Well, why are
and if you're going to pay $30 for a game that may never leave early access, how can you really judge how good a game is once it gets out of beta?
Well, why are people dumping money into shitty games, Doug? I don't understand that.
Yeah, I was going to say, so, Doug, Steam sucks, so they're going to go bankrupt now?
Well, Steam sucks, but there's a lot of suckers out there.
Oh, okay. So they found the market of the suckers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Frank, you're a sucker, Frank.
That shit.
I don't understand.
Hold on.
So, Doug, so a company finds a market of people that are willing to pay for their goods and services, and they're doing well and making money hand over fist. Bad thing?
If they pump out shit, yes.
Consumers not asking for better stuff.
That's on both of them. One for putting out shit, and others for taking shit. And the people who are putting out shit aren't fucking putting out Half-Life 3. How about that? Catch me outside.
But the government can spy on your phones and you never had a question with it before. But God damn it, let Steam put out a shitty game, and that's a problem.
Sometimes the free market is dumb. We all agree Kim Kardashian is trash, but she sure as hell garners 6 million viewers a week for a shitty reality show, doesn't she?
I've always been of the opinion that even though you and all your friends believe something doesn't mean that that's the majority rule. I mean, most of us agree that Trump's a crazy president, but he still got in, and we haven't overturned his presidency.
I'd like to say I've never have really been interested in using Steam myself, but it does seem like they do give you a lot of bang for your dollar as far as you getting all these bundles with really good games and stuff, you know.
I joined. There's some subreddits that I'm a member of that people when they give away games, I sign up and I get free games, and yeah, some of them are turds. A lot of them are the digital homicide games. That's why I know what Doug's talking about. But those
you put in the effort to filter all that stuff out, though.
I got a couple of them for free, and I have some that I got just because I'm a completionist. I either want to complete the whole set or want to get the goofy named game, like what do they call that? There's a Wyatt Derp. I was like, well, now I got to get Wyatt Derp too, and so yeah, it's with the reviews, you can barely even call them games. Some of them are there's no functionality. They made a better title screen than they ever made a game, and if you're stupid enough to pay for it, I think that's on you. You can't. I mean, the way that Steam has it, they have a green light system,
which just ended, which was short.
Yeah, which why That you cannot blame Steam for that though. That they put a
Oh,
game came out-
yes, you can. Oh, yes,
on, they
you
put it-
can. They willingly and wantonly ignored the system to profit off of it.
Doug's going full steam on Steam.
No, they put a game up and they say, hey, if you like it, vote for it, and the highest number of votes we put in the
I could
store.
link you the Jim Sterling videos based on Steam Greenlight and how that system was shit. Solange, is there any jobs available in Canada? Because I may have to leave this country.
No.
No, they're
Because of
full.
Steam.
Sorry, you're not allowed to fly over here. Not right.
Oh, I'm willing to get my face scanned. I'm good with that.
Yeah, he don't care. The government's been watching him since the 60s. Anyway, 60 years old.
Well, yeah, let's ask Solange, do you like video games?
No.
No? Not a
Not
big
really.
gamer?
I'm not a gamer. No.
Tell us about your farm on your phone, babe.
I have one game on my phone. I have a
What's-
farm. Actually, no, I have two
Get
games on my
movies
phone.
and
I also play a
software.
Futurama game because it's Futurama, but that's about it. So,
You escape
Yeah.
one of the many pitfalls of our society. You have my respect.
I'm more of a reader, and I can read on my phone, so that's why I don't have games. Yeah, I
Frank.
do have a town/farm, but I spend 15 minutes a day with it, maybe. More like 5 most days. That's about it. So.
Well, I think you can get... Frank, can't you get other media on Steam? Like, I know you could get software and stuff. Can you get movies and...
Yes.
Other content?
Movies, TV
Can you get
shows.
books on Steam?
I don't think so.
Well, you could get movies, I know.
I was
and
almost
there's
interested in it. I was almost interested,
Yeah.
but if I can't read,
Let me check.
Well, they had a sale recently. Like they have those sales.
oh wait, I'd have to pay for it. I'd have to pay, wouldn't I? I'd be buying, not. See, my phone has a library app, so
Books,
why would I
let's see.
buy if I can just borrow?
Anyway, but no, they had like a flash sale over the weekend. They're like, oh, anime, and they're like, so I look at what they had and like suggested, and it's like episode TV shows and movies, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know they even did that shit. So yeah,
Let's see. You can get Software Hub. You can get animation and modeling software, audio production software, design and illustration, education, game development, photo editing, utilities, video production, and web publishing.
for your video games.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Software, utilities. Let me see what they got.
So
Well,
anyway,
but specifically about this, do you think, Frank, though, that this specifically is a bad thing?
they're acting stupid, and I think I wouldn't blame Steam because they didn't raise the price. It was the development company that was stupid.
Yeah, that's true,
That's
too.
like blaming Walmart because the meat you bought there gave you the shits. It's
No,
Wait,
everybody's
wait,
guilty before innocent.
Wait.
yes.
As a person who works in food service, if you buy meat at Walmart and it does give you the shits, you should be checking out why. Because if it was improper, if there's something that happened to it in the processing, or storage, or selling of it, then yes, it is the fault of either Walmart or the company that processed it.
If you
So-
buy prepackaged meat from Walmart, it gets you sick and gives you the shits. Then possibly, maybe you have a problem with Oscar Mayer and their wieners, and not Walmart.
But not necessarily. It could have been Oscar Mayer that something happened in the processing. It could be that Walmart didn't properly have their meat stored the entire time from truck to your cart.
Well,
So
Well, I could see that.
well, okay, but we're getting abstract to hell and back here, guys.
We got caught in another vortex, didn't we, Frank?
Right.
yeah,
Now,
but I'm just
if
be
you-
careful when there's a lot of reasons why you get sick from food.
Well, okay.
That's all
But
I'm saying.
in this instance,
That's fair.
selling a shitty game is not their fault, in my opinion.
Has to go past some sort of quality control. If it's not existent, you blame them.
Well, here's their quality control. Hey, will this make a bunch of money? Well, fuck it, we're selling it. That works for me. I have
And
no
that's
soul.
how we got Bieber, okay?
Hey, you know
That's
what?
how we got Bieber.
Hey, I consider myself a music snob, but if I can make $1 million selling Bieber tickets, I'll be there on the street selling the motherfuckers. I have no soul. You can line my casket with dollar bills, son.
You would be stupid not to, right?
Right. Hey man, for every ticket you sell to the Bieber show, you get 500 grand cash. I'll be out there fucking. Hey man, you want to buy some tickets? I'm a dog. Yeah, but you want some tickets? So yeah,
I think the recurring theme is merges that you can't generalize everything, you know.
Well, Doug, the thing is, he's looking at this like how people, you know, they're blaming stuff, trying to be preemptive's fault when it's really society's fault for being full of shit and buying shitty games. Because the market system, the way it is set up, the economy in general, if someone's stupid enough to buy it, then goddamn it, they'll sell it and make money off of it. I want money. They don't have a bad system. Why would they fix it if they're making money? Hey, man, they got a problem with their system.
The system is bad and has been bad forever.
Well,
it has been called out for being bad. But they just continue to run it.
People will buy the bullshit they buy, Doug, and you either buy it or you don't. Well, look at it. Do we got another story here, Ian?
No, that's it. Let's head on to yours. I'd like to be able to finish yours before we get cut off here.
No,
we might end up being cut off.
It's gonna be 7 o'clock in the evening.
Well, I mean, I don't mind it so much, but I mean, Google might. So.
Thousands sign up to clean sewage because they did.
Oh.
Yes.
Are you
Sorry.
super egged up? Go ahead.
I interrupted. I do apologize. For the first time, possibly the first time in my life, I read a user agreement tonight before I signed on to the Hangout. It was short, and I had to say yes. So I'm like, oh fuck it, I'll read it. I was so proud of myself.
They didn't have to stitch your face to somebody's butt and make a centipede, human centipede.
Nope.
Oh, come on.
And see,
my face is ass free since '73.
And what? And see. And see, the best outcome is that she ends up on the show with us, and she still clicked yes. I don't know why. Anyway.
Well, basically, the gist of it wasn't it that you pretty much have no rights on here, so.
Right.
That's the gist of it.
Do you read the terms?
And they're not responsible for anything bad happening.
Do you read the terms and conditions? Probably not. No one does. Some people have now found themselves legally bound to 1,000 hours of community service, including, but not limited to, cleaning toilets at festivals, scraping chewing gum off the seats, and manually relieving sewer blockages. The hopefully joke clause was inserted in the terms and service of Manchester-based Wi-Fi companies to illustrate the lack of consumer awareness of what they are signing up to when they access free Wi-Fi. The company operates Wi-Fi hotspots for a number of brands, including Legoland, Outback Steakhouse, and Pizza Express. People also offered a prize for Purple also offered a prize for anyone who read the terms and conditions and flagged up the community service clause. Just one person claimed it. It's no surprise that people will agree to anything for free Wi-Fi. In 2014, cybersecurity firm F-Secure ran a similar experiment in London, operating a Wi-Fi hotspot that anyone could use in exchange for their firstborn child. The so clause was clearly stated in the terms and conditions, and 6 people still signed up, though it's not clear how many of them simply disliked their eldest children. So, happened. Any comment? No?
Well, I think you know what Doug would say, because I remember a while ago he argued it's like, if you don't rate it, it doesn't matter what's in there, it's your fault.
Doug argued? No. He doesn't do that. He's easy going.
I don't argue. I just state why I'm right and you're wrong.
No, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You're just fucking wrong. So, yeah.
You think whatever you're wrong.
Doug, do you have anything
Or
on
what-
this? Because about the stupid people signing up to clean toilets and not knowing it or caring. Nothing. Okay, Benjamin.
Stupid idiots, man. Stupid idiots.
Yeah, buying
Well,
Bieber records and watching Kim Kardashian.
I remember back in the day, man, they would do a test where all the steps would say, stand up out of your chair and say, I have a little teapot, short and stout. And then you get to the last one and it says, only do part 1 and turn in the paper.
We know a dude every year they got him with that. And it was the same test. I don't know how he's like, oh man. And we're like, seriously? You got like 4 questions in, you go, I'm erasing my name off this shit. They're not. But, yeah, Solange, visitor, guest.
What was the question?
You have any thoughts on the thousands who signed up to clean raw sewage?
I think they should have read what they were signing. Not that I would do any different, but
You just click yes too?
sure.
I'll
Well,
tell
I don't know what exactly the agreement was for, the user agreement.
They signed up for 1,000 hours of community service when they signed up for their free Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi?
Yeah, when you go into a store and you say, do you agree to all whatever if you're
Oh,
connected to
okay.
Wi-Fi?
I would agree that they got what they deserved for not reading, but I think it was an asshole thing of the company to do that. Because it's like, really, who is going to take that time to stand there and read that? So.
It's a point.
Well, yeah, a lot of people, you might not even understand it because a lot of the agreements you read now, you pretty much have to have like some kind of lawyer to be able to tell you what it means.
And to honestly expect someone to fully read through something that is full
like
of
a
legalese
book.
and they don't understand.
I will say, especially for Wi-Fi, it's a little ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's funny that they said that they flat out, specifically said you had to give up your firstborn, and still 6 people were like, do that? Fuck little Jeffy. So,
Wow.
the animated GIF, I shared it on my Facebook recently of Clint Eastwood grimacing, and it's like when a child starts screaming in a restaurant. Yes, that's exactly right. I don't want children. I don't like children. Keep them away from me. So yes, you can have little Billy too. I know he's younger. Okay, so that's the first story. Ben, do you have any comment?
Well, I just found a picture that makes me question your argument about children, Frank.
Oh
So-
boy. I don't. Hold on.
I don't even want to know.
Hold on. Let me see what it is here. Oh. Hold on. Now I got it. Now I got to click and share. Hold on.
Oh no.
Whoop, wrong one.
Really?
Technical difficulties. Here we go. Baby shares its lunch. Here, you want? Here he says, peace. Okay, I'll take some. Nom. Nom. Okay, this kid's cool. I could kick it with him. But Ian, do you have anything before I
Well, I was just gonna say, like, even if they say you agreed to let us kill you, like, none of that would hold up in court because they didn't have the legal right to even put that in the first place or act upon it,
Well, there's nothing I can say here that South Park didn't speak of in their episode, so.
Right.
But I just felt like bringing this up here because it's a fun little talking point. I didn't realize we'd have such hatred-filled talking points earlier in the show. By the way, KFC's new smartphone is finger looking good or bottom of the bargain bucket? Who needs Tim Cook? Colonel Sanders is launching a red smartphone in Huawei in China, complete with Snapdragon processor and fingerprint scanner. Basically, this is celebrating in China the 30 years that KFC has been open. They decided to release a smartphone. So, anybody thinking this is funny? No, Doug, you got something in your eye, buddy?
I specifically saw this article multiple times on my Facebook and on Yahoo, and every single time, I'm like, I'm gonna ignore it because I just don't want to know.
You don't want it
I
in your
don't want to
brain,
know
huh?
about the fucking extra crispy fucking cell phone. Just
By the way, Samsung made a giant 34-foot LED TV for movie theaters.
Ooh.
It'll probably blow up. So you spent $120,000 on a 120-inch 4K HDR screen and think you've got the biggest, baddest TV around? Nope. Samsung has unveiled the Cinema LED screen that's an epic 10.3 meters, 33.8 feet, or 406 inches. It runs at full 4K resolution, features HD, and peaks out at 146 FL of brightness. 10 times greater than that offered by standard projector technology, Samsung said in a news release. The set, first teased in March this year, offers a distortion-free presentation with deep blacks, accurate whites, and bright colors at nearly infinite contrast ratio, according to Samsung. So, what do you guys think of that?
So how big is each pixel?
Probably the size of my hand. I don't know.
It's they measure it like 40 feet. You said 40 feet diagonally or whatever?
33.8 feet. I don't know if that's 406 inches with 4,096, which is 4K.
Yeah. Even at 4K, each pixel would probably be maybe like a centimeter or something.
Well, it looks to be standard screen size, so if it was a movie theater, that would be the same thing, except instead of being projected, it's just an LED. So, compared to, when you see like a picture of a movie on a projector from, someone snaps their phone and it looks like shit. This is pretty clear.
Right. So it's pretty much like way better quality than like a Scantron at the baseball stadiums,
That's just 4K. We got better stuff out now. 4K so last year.
Are you saying that they could make a big ass 8K screen and that would pique your interest, or like a 5K Retina like Apple?
I mean,
that's just 5K is just weird.
Might as well fucking take the step. You know what I'm saying?
If Apple made this, would you be all about it though, Doug?
Not 4K. I'm actually not really even stoked about 4K, to be honest with you.
How do you feel about 8K?
Not really stoked about it.
Well, a lot of those 8K so-called screens that they have now, they pretty much had to put like 4K together, and you actually have a little bit of a lines where you could see the grid is, in between each screen. So that's definitely way off.
There's not even that much fucking 4K content out right now. I think people are just scoping too quick. Like, what's the next best thing? What's the new next thing? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I need 4K. I need 5K cinema display. I need 8K. I need 8K. I'm like, dude, okay.
I'll probably get my next TV will probably be 4K, just because it's so available now that it makes sense. Why not?
I've got one, but I mean, the only reason I got it was just to feature proof.
Yeah.
I can't even really benefit from 4K just because of my vision.
Right. I mean, using it as a monitor, like you said, for you, it makes all the text all.
Yeah.
I can understand using a 4K as a standard computer monitor. If you have problems seeing, I've heard that it's supposed to help people who have like depth perception issues. I think it was, or something along those lines.
Well, we were saying Ian's got bad vision, and he says it actually is worse for him because it's makes everything
Really?
too small. Yeah, like text is too hard to read. He says.
Yeah, and unless if you use that what do they call it? That DPI scaling or whatever, which can be like kind of finicky or whatever. So it's just so my vision is pretty bad and it's really blurry. I don't benefit from the extra pixel resolution because 1080p. Like I have my monitor set at like 1600 by 900.
Yeah.
So I can't even really do 1080 unless if I get a bigger screen because I have that on just a 24-inch monitor. So yeah, it's hard for me to tell that.
How big would you have to get to be to like even it out?
Well, like if I want to get a new monitor soon, so like I could probably do 1080 if I get like a 27 or 29-inch monitor, you know, but definitely not 4K.
I was just wondering, like, would you have to get like one of those a TV that's like 40-inch or like 50, one of those things?
Yeah, probably, but then I'd still have to sit pretty far or pretty close because it's just that my vision is really blurry. So like either way, I have to get close to be able to tell.
You need that eye jelly replacement surgery, bro. Have you seen that?
What?
They essentially take out like all of the inside of your eye, like where your cornea is. They do it. Most of people have like cataracts and stuff, and they put in fluid and they replace almost everything inside the eye with just a contact lens. It's an internal contact lens.
Huh? I haven't heard about that. I know that I'm not qualified for laser surgery. My doctor already told me that.
What?
Yeah, laser surgery wouldn't help me.
Punch yourself in the eye a couple times. You might have a different opinion.
He'll say, no, that still can't damn dollars. But yeah.
Well, it also depends on what's wrong with your eye.
Yeah.
Because LASIK only corrects. LASIK only does so much, so.
Yeah. Well, I have a stigmatism and I have a condition called aniridia.
And so I would guess that there's probably that aniridia is not really a fixable condition. Because LASIK eye surgery, all that is going to do is correct vision problems. Like, far side and near side type thing. So.
Right. Yeah.
So
like my eye condition is like 1 in millions of people get it, so I was like freak accident with that.
Could you get like a what is that, cornea transplants or whatever? If somebody.
Yeah, I've done that on my right eye, but that's my right eye is really, really bad. It's way worse than my left eye. So, and I've had like a few cornea transplants just because it's clouded up so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I heard, weren't they doing like things where like they're trying to bypass the eyes and just like hook a thing right to the brain so like they could have a camera, so like you wouldn't have to worry about replacing the eyes, or they could, I don't know. That's like late.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of that is like really experimental.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, you can afford to be on a plane. You're white. Don't worry.
Call it Georgia the Forge.
They won't put you border. So, anyway, next story.
Let's keep our eye on the ball here.
AMD Thread.
Oh wait! Was that Wit?
Huh?
No.
Was that Wit, Ian?
No, that was one of Ian's dad jokes. He's not a dad, but he's practicing real hard.
Okay.
Right.
I was wondering if he's attempting Wit, because don't. You'll hurt yourself.
Yeah. AMD Threadripper. Okay. Prices undercut Intel's Core i9 by as much as $1,000. AMD has revealed the prices of some of its Threadripper CPUs using the that it executed for its mainstream Ryzen chips. Set eye-popping discounts compared to Intel's own Core i9 family and probably earlier release dates too. On Thursday, AMD disclosed the model numbers, price, and rough availability of both the 12 and 16 core AMD Threadripper chips for the upper echelons of gaming and content creation PCs. The $999 16-core 32-thread 3.4 gigahertz Threadripper 1950X and the $799 12-core 24-thread 3.5 gigahertz Threadripper 1920X. Given that information, we also know the difference between what Intel and AMD will charge for their respective offerings. They'll pay $700 less for 1950X than Intel's 16-core 32-thread Core i9 and $1,000 less than Intel's 18-core 36-thread. Threadripper 12-core costs $400 less than the 12-core i9 and $600 less than the 14-core i9. AMD says that it will begin shipping Ryzen Threadripper CPUs and motherboards in early August. The company also confirmed that pre-orders of Alienware Area 51 systems will begin on July 27th. Why this matters? AMD's disclosure is a new thrust in the ongoing slow-motion fencing match between Threadripper and Intel's Core i9. Though it's deeply important and for AMD to offer a microprocessor to compete with the Core i9, both Threadripper and Core i9 are world, a world in which most users will still drive a minivan. The Motley Fool reporter Asaf yes, the four most popular microprocessors sold by Amazon all cost around $200 to $300, including a pair of AMD Ryzen 7. So this is basically just a thing about Threadripper because everyone's like, "When's it coming out? When's it?" And I'm interested. It's cool. I'm nowhere near the market for it, but it's cool to see, and I like that they're getting their hands into this stuff and throwing their hat in the ring, and that's all good for consumers. Competition is great for the market.
How much is it going to be?
For the 16 core, it's $999, and for the 12 core, it's $799.
Oh, okay. Yes. It's probably it's going to be just a similar case with my video card. I bought the best video card at the time, and then the 580 came out, and then I'm about to get the best Ryzen processor, and then this Threadripper is going to come out the same month.
And then you're going to go, ooh, are you jelly, Ian? You're not getting a bad chip if you do get Ryzen anyway. Even if you get the which is the quad cores, you're still getting good performance for your money.
Right. Well, I'm gonna get the 1800X, which is the best one, but I wish I could get that, but I'm not $1,000 jelly.
yeah, just for you. That's one component. Granted, it's a very important component, but it's still one component nonetheless. So what is it that Nate was saying, that the graphics card should be like a big percentage of your purchase? Well, he actually gave a number. So like if it's more than your CPU, could you imagine what was that, like 4 Vega FEs or some shit?
Right.
Hi, Doug.
This is just a pissing contest, man. That's all it is.
What are you talking about?
Like it's undone
pissing contest that Intel is currently winning.
Like it's unlike Doug to weigh in on a pissing contest.
Wait. Okay, they're winning.
Intel is currently winning. Okay, yeah. AMD may have the top 10 processors, but they haven't even bitten to 10% of Intel's market share since the release of the Ryzen chips.
Oh, but they're making Intel scared.
Well,
all they're going to do is piss off Intel, and then Intel is going to come up with the boom drop. And AMD hasn't been ready for fucking Intel boom drops in God knows how long. And they're not going to be ready now.
Yeah, but this 18-core...
They've had their punt card pulled. So now Intel is about to strike back with some heavy shit.
No.
Well, can I say something that this 18-core processor that Intel was competing with the Threadripper with, that was supposed to be their strike back, and a lot of YouTuber, like big tech YouTubers, are complaining about that because it has a weird new platform that you have to go with, and has like all you have to get different RAM and stuff just to be able to for it to be supported and everything. Like, what?
Hey, baby, if you want the power, don't be sour that you got to go to a different tower. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you go to a different motherboard, but they said that they don't even offer dual channel RAM. You'll only get single channel RAM slots if you can't do dual channel. I don't understand.
I'm sorry, I've dealt with single channel for quite a long time, man.
Oh, that's right. Doug, you got a Ryzen computer sitting there, by the way? I forget. You got a bunch of computers in there.
No, I do not. Most of what I have is like I have a couple of AMD Athlon chipsets sitting in the sub office. I got a couple of Intel Xeon processor chipsets as well. But the system I'm working on building is going to be Intel build.
Oh. Okay, well, more power to you.
The 16 core or the 18 core processor that Intel did, like a lot of the people said pretty much it's like they cannibalized their Xeon line to make this just to compete with the thing that AMD made. You know.
Well, they should think this hasn't been the plan the entire time.
Okay.
Assumptions. You assumed Intel just did it out of spite.
Yes.
I, for one, I welcome the Threadripper platform. But I think
well, let's forget both of these processors aren't for the mainstream audience. These are for the content producers and stuff. This doesn't even extreme gamers and stuff probably won't even touch these maybe.
Dude, let me put it to you like this. There's so many wannabe content creators out there, especially YouTube and Daily Motion and vid.me, that all these announcements are just pushing people to spend more money on items that they don't really need for what they do, but they want because it's a status symbol. And that's why this is a pissing contest. Specifically why it's a pissing contest.
Well, yeah, but these are for professional use. These aren't, you and I are not going into a store and buying these chips. I can tell you that right now. But
there's going to be people who are like, I need the best system money can buy. And they will put back for a year or 2 years just to be able to afford an entry-level system of something like this.
Yeah, but if that was true, why hasn't that already happened with that Xeons and stuff? Why isn't everybody going buying Xeons? They were targeted for professionals too.
Xeons, from what I heard, for the most part, were targeted more towards server builds and professionals like that. You're also entering into
professionals. That's what these are.
You're also entering into a period the past 2 or 3 years where content creators and people who are freelancers have gone up drastically. This goes along with the whole technology movement at a higher pace than what people are prepared for.
Well,
if you really stop and think about it, you think about the last 5 to 10 years of computer existence. Okay, think about in just this 5-10 year just time frame from 2007 to 2017.
Okay.
Did anybody in this particular show dream in 2006 that in 2017 we'd be talking about the products and the things that we have that everybody uses, even just the regular everyday products? Did anybody honestly, besides maybe the people higher up in Apple and Samsung and some of the other companies, how many really saw today coming in 10 years? How many people saw 4K and 8K gaming in 2006?
Well, if we did, we would have already had it and had our wallets in it, Doug.
Oh my gosh.
It's a broad question you're asking here.
It's a simple question.
I don't understand.
Back in 2006, Could any of us have imagined the type of technological advances that we currently have and that we use on an everyday basis, things like iPhones and high-powered computers to the degree that we have, tablets, smart cars, cars that work and interact with our phones, everything that we have within the past 5 to 10 years has been light years ahead of what was even going on in the 90s and early 2000s. Hands up, everyone who had a smartphone in 2005.
I did. I'm not going to raise my hand because it's stupid.
2005. What year did the first iPhone come out?
2007.
Okay, then no.
Did any of us truly envision a life that we have today in 2006?
Well, see, we used to think in
it's smartphone,
2015 Jaws
I think
would come out with all those sequels, and the kids would be wearing their pants inside out, and flying cars.
Boy, the caveman.
We are exhibiting clear signs of disintelligence, having intelligence, just choosing not to use it.
Caveman would be really confused right now if you gave him a smartphone. He'd say,
Your Honor, I'm just a simple caveman, and I was just thought out, and, I just think that this magic cell phone device, it's magic to me. I don't know how it works.
The point is, Cartoon Brew, that when you take a look within the past 5 to 10 years of technological advancement, the tech that we have today has been developed in the past 10 years, has been evolved almost at light speed on fast forward, as opposed to the 30 years that came before it. Okay? We're now living in an age where the new biggest better now is here today, gone today. And the fact that certain people will or maybe will not pay out that money to get the biggest better now in 6 months or a month, or when the pre-orders go live on the Alienware per se, is the fact that we're in this kind of like really tipsy type of period where one guy's gonna do this, another guy's gonna do this, and then it's like Apple Samsung every year, do until a phone blows up in your pants. But
yeah, but the thing is Intel has become. That's one of the things a lot of people would say too, is that Intel has become complacent over the years. They really haven't had any motivation to really up their game, and now that Intel has released all their crazy processors, they're like, oh shit, and they pretty much dropped the ball on this latest one because the latest processor, because they didn't really plan it out.
The only thing they didn't expect was AMD to come out swinging this early. That's it. Their R&D has been working at a snail's pace. But imagine just off of what they've been doing with the Optane memory. I mean, they've already said that they have been focusing less on processor and more about overall speed. They don't do a whole lot with the processor right now, but that is also a circle. I mean, what has AMD been doing the past 10 years besides coming out with a very underwhelming chip up until now? Now AMD is now in that level. AMD's here, Intel is here, but it's eventually going to come back around.
Well, their cards have been pretty competitive. I think a lot of people would agree.
Okay, if you're talking about, hold on, Doug. If you're talking about underwhelming chips, the not even the Ryzen now, the AMD FX series, what we're currently on, came out in, what was that, 2012 was it, or 2017?
Yeah, you're right.
And so it's how old now? Chip. I mean, Intel is not even making anything. The average consumer, which is where the market is, they're not. People aren't going to the stores and saying, "Let's buy all the Intel shit." Have you been to the build your own PC part section of Microsoft?
Yeah, the last time I was there, it was pretty much all Intel.
Yeah, full on the shelves. The empty shelves that people are buying the shit is the AMD side. When I went, they had it split right down the middle.
You didn't listen to a word I said, now did you?
Yeah, you said it's all Intel, and I went.
Before that, Slappy Doo, What I'm saying is that Intel has now stated that they're focusing less in R&D on the chips because their chips are already mega fucking popular. They're in so many different PCs. But the thing is that Ryzen hasn't even eaten into 10% of Intel's market share. Intel is still number one. It is going to be number one for a while until Ryzen catches up, and then Intel has to bust out a new consumer grade processor.
When did Ryzen first announced anyway?
That was like last year, right?
Announced last year and released this year.
Okay, so December 2016. So it's now the 7th month. So, okay. All right, Deb.
Well, I mean, with the Octane thing, I wasn't even that impressed with that. Were you, Frank? Because I saw a couple of videos on it.
Even the one video I watched, wasting my time on it, was one of the ones where Linus says, "Will this speed up an SSD even faster?" And he goes, "No, not really." And he's got his head up Intel's ass, and
oh yeah, he does.
And Nvidia, he's got his head up both of their ass, and you know what? He can't sell the shit because it's no one fucking cares.
But you also you might have missed the video where he walked back a lot of his initial comments and said, "Listen, you have to let the card get played out of what Intel has been into and what Intel has said that they're doing. They're not working on these super hardcore processor chips because they don't feel the need to. The install base is already there. They're working on accessories to work with the products and what they have in the PCs already."
He went home and Money called him and said, "Hey, don't make fun of our chip on your TV."
Yeah, I was gonna say Intel didn't like that much. That's pretty well known that happened.
And Bitch Boy Linus said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. What can I say to get the money back in my pocket?"
Don't like the truth, do you?
Doug, you're the one fabricating your own reality because you
the
don't
only
understand
thing I'm
that
fabricating is my interest in smacking down your lack of logic.
Anyway, guys, sorry you guys have been sitting there kind of listening to us argue here. This has been basically the three of us doing a circle jerk.
Okay, we're muting
Oh, we're
ourselves.
still here. Oh, sorry.
Wake up, Ben. Wake up.
Yeah,
I'm still here. I'm sorry. I was looking at cute puppies and kittens.
We're amusing ourselves.
Well, do you even care about this whole debate or not? I mean, it is pretty stupid, but okay.
In 500 years, will anybody know the difference?
Nope.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually.
Send home a Terminator. He's got Intel carved onto the side of his head. Do.
Yeah.
Do.
Well, and it's like a Blu-ray versus HD DVD.
I know what side I was on too.
Which side were you on?
I was on Blu-ray. I knew about Blu-ray as a format 3 years before it even attempted to hit market, and I'm like, oh, it's sweet.
Wow.
Yeah, ain't that special? Well,
then
anyway.
HD DVD came out, and I'm like, oh, you're so screwed.
Well, anyway. So, yeah. Intel will shit their pants once, AMD starts sneaking into their server market. We'll see how, the 10% of their shares. Let's see, because you got to remember the server market isn't all about balling. They're all about making the fucking money, and we can do this with pay less. Shit, yeah.
Yeah, did you see that tour of that crazy server place that Linus went to?
No.
Yeah.
I saw the videos there.
That made me jealous, man.
Oh shit! Right?
Like, damn.
You're like, product.
You jelly? All right. Why Facebook fake news button won't help against Russia? It's all about the algorithm. I didn't really think I was going to get in depth with this article, and I don't think I'm going to do all that, but I'll read a little bit of it. The Russia's fake news hack of the 2016 election is widely misunderstood. The news media doesn't understand the underlying technology that hackers used, and as a result, has not properly explained it to the public. The operation wasn't just about writing thousands of fake stories that were harmful to Clinton and helpful to Trump. Russian hackers socially engineered a massive propaganda campaign like Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. The response from social networks, particularly Facebook's, has been to declare war on fake news by integrating into their newsfeed. While these measures will help, they ignore the other half of the issue. Russian hackers it uses to decide what content appears in your newsfeed to maximize their impact. I recognize a lot of the techniques they've used as I've been studying the Facebook algorithm for years at DOS. I've read hundreds of experiments and regressions trying to predict the virality and understand people's behavior. I use that knowledge to grow our Facebook page 400,000 to 4 million in just 4 months. So, yeah. And he explains why, and big old diagrams and shit, which it's already coming up on something. So I'll just say this is a good read. I suggest you guys read it.
Yeah, did you guys read that article about what was it, like Facebook was demanding that, or not Facebook, Germany was demanding that Facebook be better to remove hate speech and stuff or something?
No. Didn't know that. Did Alibaba just rip off Amazon's unmanned supermarket?
Okay then.
Alibaba, the Eastern.
Who?
Over the weekend, a new unset Hangzhou, the Tao Cafe, created and run by Alibaba, is part of the e-commerce giant's efforts to break into the market of brick-and-mortar shops before and then watch as its competitors crumble. But Alibaba was not the first to have this idea. It appears that at least China's e-commerce leader has been struggling to keep up with its main global rival, Amazon. The American e-commerce company opened a cashier-free U.S. at the end of 2016, and Alibaba is opening their own. At this point, unstaffed stores are even becoming a bit old school, considering the fact that a Swedish company just opened an automated self-driving mobile store in Shanghai last month, and that another app-controlled convenience store in Shanghai, Bingo Box, has already temporarily shut down for technical maintenance. So, where's it? Even so, to ECNS, there was a long line of people waiting to enter Alibaba's new store on its opening day. Undoubtedly, they were attracted not only by the possibility of a futuristic shopping experience, but also by the fact that the products available were 20 to 30% cheaper than those of typical convenience store. Part of the appeal of this all is that companies get to significantly cut back on the cost of maintaining a fully staffed store. Currently, there are few assistants at the Hangzhou location there to make sure the customers understand the shopping process, but ideally, such help will be unnecessary once these stores become commonplace. Humans will no longer be needed. In order to enter, the customers must have Alibaba's Kebo app downloaded on their phone. Each store has a gate which resembles those found on subways, where shoppers QR code upon entry. Up to 50 customers at a time can peruse the 200 square meter space and make purchases a variety of fast food beverages and snacks. After selecting their desired product, shoppers simply exit the store via passages equipped with the facial recognition scanners. Once their faces are confirmed, each patron is then charged automatically for their purchases via their phone's Alipay app. For the technology used in the store is Ant Finance, a tech company owned by Alibaba. It seems that they have done there's video with technicians demonstrating that it would not be so simple task to steal. So, what do you guys think of that?
So they want to face scan you too, huh?
Well, yeah, but it's, you already got a scan to get in, they'll scan to get you out. Is that scary, guys? Anybody? Hello? Is this thing
so,
on?
Well, does anybody here use Alibaba?
I've been to the site, but I don't. But then again, we are Westerners. And
Well, like,
Well, I see lots of courses online for people to use it to drop ship stuff to Amazon. You know,
really?
so
it's basically there's a stigma of, oh, I got to order from China and it might have to clear customs and I might have to pay a fee. Fuck that! I'll
well,
store
it's
it
for
on
bulk
Amazon.
ordering parts and stuff. If you want to sell something, you know, try and make a business out of it. But
I mean, I'm sure a lot of the people that you buy shit from eBay and Amazon probably get stuff straight from them because it's all Chinese crap. But
Yeah. Well, like I tried searching for like basic like because I thought you could. It was good to find just like basic, like stuff you get at like Radio Shack and stuff. You need some kind of like specific like adapter or wiring or something. You
electrical components.
could go there. Yeah, but I could like the specific things I was trying to look for. I couldn't find anything really good there.
Gotcha. Doug, any thoughts?
I'm sorry, were we still live?
Yeah.
Are you alive?
So are you gonna tell us why Alibaba sucks?
I just don't care.
Oh. You don't
Okay.
care about the foreigners taking away our hard-earned money. I see.
Come on, it's an automated store.
Come on. Oh, man. Digital videos. No one's going to watch that shit. Put all your money in Blockbuster. And this is the fucking future, man. They don't even got to pay. They figured out what Hobby Lobby couldn't. Right? Fuck the employees, man. No?
okay,
I'm
so
crazy, huh? Am I
a
crazy?
little bit.
Crazy.
G4 feeling.
Crazy.
Okay. Next,
Well, how many articles do you have left, Frank?
I don't know. Hold on. 2.
That's not good.
Shut up.
That means he's got 2 that he wants to talk about, and then 50 that are kind of in the same ballpark he's going to mention before getting back to the thing.
No, you were asking earlier about when I mentioned Ryzen 3. AMD
Oh, yeah.
Ryzen 3 brings competitive quad-core CPUs to the masses. The CPU core wars continue. AMD continued its quest to democratize multi-core computing on Thursday. It revealed hard details about Ryzen 3 processors with twice as many CPU cores as their Intel rivals. So yeah, just I just threw this in there to give you something to read because I knew you wanted to know about the latest cheaper ones that are coming out.
AMD sucks. Come on now.
No, that's Steam.
I'm
dude.
not saying AMD sucks, man. Like, I even expressed interest in trying out a Ryzen CPU for a build, but it just ain't.
Well, Apple's pretty pro AMD stuff. You're forgetting too that a lot of their new Mac Pro things are having like the Vega and stuff in them.
Vega. Waiting for Vega. I need Vega. Okay. My last story.
What processor are they using? What's the CPU?
I don't know. I think the Mac Pros they might put Ryzen in them. I'm not sure. I forget the specs on them with that latest. What is that? That WDDC or whatever they call it.
I don't know. All the articles I read say don't bother buying an Apple products. The shit they put in them, they're charging too much. You can build it yourself for cheaper. So, but anyway.
Well, again, just let you know why you're wrong there, Chuckles.
Huh? Am I Chuckles or is Ian Chuckles? Who's Chuckles? I'm confused.
That would be Frankie.
Yes.
Okay, so back to our
Doug
story.
said, "Go to your next article, Frank." That's what he said.
The firm that sold the $14,000 smartphone has reportedly collapsed.
Oh
So-
my goodness! Didn't see that coming.
Virtue's phone started at around 11,000 pounds, $14,000, and a top of the range jewel encrusted bespoke model could reportedly sell for $280,000. Murad Hakan Uzan, who owns the Virtue brands separately, is retaining the brand and the technology and design license and plans to rebuild the phone market. The manufacturing arm of a British luxury smartphone maker is to a failed buyout bid in the UK High Court, according to multiple media reports. Virtue Corporation Limited made part of the super rich that came with hefty price tags. Some Virtue models boasted state-of-the-art technology, superior craftsmanship, and materials, as well as bespoke services, including a concierge service which provides 24-hour worldwide assistance to users. Virtue's phones started at around top of the line, jewel encrusted. So yeah, what do you guys think of that?
I think I saw the was it Unboxed Therapy that Unboxed that or whatever that was like gold-plated phone or something.
He had a phone that I don't know if it was this maker or not, but he had an Android phone that was so private that like it was all you could not hack it apparently premium price, and I'm not sure if it was this phone or another company, but yeah, when you're making shit and you're selling them for 14 grand a piece, odds are you're not cranking these things out like Lucy with the chocolates just coming on the conveyor belt.
So what was the 1%ers were still scoffing at them? They couldn't make bank off of them.
I'm not going to buy that expensive phone, dear. I'm saving up for the new Ryzen chips. Getting into Ethereum mining.
Oh, not this shit again.
I thought this would be with the lighthearted tone the show is taking, right?
Right.
It's joke. It's joke, right?
Very good. Very nice.
Very nice.
Oh
So-
shit! No, not this shit.
I have a link I'd like to share.
Uh-oh.
Run.
More. If it,
Is it your Tumblr?
No, actually, it's
Solange,
a Reddit
log
post.
out now. Run.
If it's a Cartoon Brew story, I'm gonna put it up twice.
Yeah, just spam it to Doug.
I think Doug might appreciate this one.
Sorry, I've been amusing myself here. What's going on? Well, I've been amusing myself in bed, but
You're amusing yourself in bed.
Hovering over video thumbnail on desktop now shows you a 3-second preview. Try it out. They totally did steal that from Pornhub. I mean, I'd heard that they stole that.
Oh,
Well, guys, are we done for our stories for the evening?
Yeah, Pornhub is trying to fight the net neutrality thing.
Well, yeah, because if people can't sit and stare at their website for 18 hours, they're not going to make any fucking money.
Right? So we got Pornhub on our side too, so that should help.
Yeah, Ian, if never, our show goes under because I can't do these marathon 24-hour podcasts.
No.
Sorry, we could only afford the show. Oh, time to go now.
Oh wait, no, I found an image. Here's a joke for Ian.
Did you get it, Ian? Did you get it? Found this box of old memories, and
look at this photograph.
it's a box of RAM.
Yeah.
Every time I see it makes me laugh.
So, anyway,
Yeah, but you can kind of not make it fast with octane though.
Bomb and myself, Ben, and Doug, who couldn't make it tonight.
Keep living
Oh,
that
that's
dream.
awesome lodge. Keep your stick on the ice.
Right.
Solange, you poor woman, you had to sit in on this.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
Do you have
mind
anything?
myself.
Does anybody have anything to plug though before we go?
Well, you've already talked about my Tumblr. I haven't updated it in a long time, but okay.
Check out
Every
this
week,
Tumblr.
someone's going there going, God damn it, they keep saying to check it out, and he hasn't put shit on there.
Hey, it hasn't updated. Quit teasing it.
Every week I go and check, and he's not.
Hey, Ben,
Yeah.
update your Tumblr, update your Tumblr, update your Tumblr, update your Tumblr.
Does Solange have any like social medias that you want to plug or anything?
No,
No.
no,
No? Okay.
I
I
don't.
just
plug
wanted to
stuff.
come on and tell you guys, you take too long on this show.
I was gonna say I don't
Let me-
plug stuff. That's Ben's job, but you know.
Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
That's disgusting.
Ah.
You're welcome.
I don't want to.
I love my girlfriend so much.
I know.
You guys, I know you can't have her. She's all mine. Sorry.
That's great. That's great.
Doug, are you still trying to do your new podcast or whatever, Doug? Because I thought we were supposed to come on there.
We'll discuss that after the show. However,
After you-
coming, we are
Okay.
on the way.
Can you or
Okay.
nude?
Yes, I am weird. If somebody doesn't call me weird at least once a day, I've not done my job as a
They called
human
you weird.
being and as an internet content destroyer.
All right. So, wait. Are you trying to be Al Yankovic? Is that what you're telling us?
The moment I try to be like Weird Al, as much as I am a huge fan, the moment I try to be like somebody else
paradise.
and not like, you know, the seventh level of whatever, is the time that I stop doing this. Because this right here is like an amalgamation. It's like a world thrown together of like pop culture over the past 30 some years. And it just like, this right here is one of a kind.
Okay.
And that awkward silence is exactly how we should end the show.
Next, Doug will be talking about himself in a third person all the time.
Well, Doug says that you should end the show now before we get cut off.
Right.
I say Doug should do another barrel roll and fall over to top off the show. Awkward silence. Bye,
No.
everybody.
I can't do that because I actually have the office the way I want it now. If I do that again, it'd be bad news for everything that's behind me. That's post show.
Yeah, you should do an office reveal on the show, Doug, on your podcast.
That might happen. Probably gonna happen.
Anyways,
You ever,
I'll go ahead, Frank.
you ever been on Google and look up, do a barrel roll? Ah!
Oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, shot of lean.
Oops.
Bullet Club. Goodbye and good night.
Yeah, come on. Frank, rock out.
Spies out.